Man, I played more golf this last couple of weeks than basketball.
Right? And tonight in the Big East Conference, 23rd ranked Providence taking on the Seton Hall Pirates from the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. Hi again, everybody. John Rooke along with Joe Hassett. It's been a while. 10 days off for the holidays, the Christmas, and, of course, the New Year's holiday. And the Friars taking that time off since the overtime win over Butler last time out on December the 23rd. Have cracked the top 25 for a third straight year. And the first time since this guy sitting to my left, Joe Hassett, was a player in Providence. 76 through 78, Joe. Last time they've gone 3 straight years getting into the top 25.
Oh, my God, man. That's a long time ago. Thanks for coming up with that stat.
You're welcome.
I don't feel old enough, and I'm out here freezing to death here, sitting on the ice here at the amp. You and I, we need heavy socks.
I think we need to wear our parkas in here. They definitely get the wind machines going on tonight.
Yeah.
So,
well, you look at Seton Hall coming in here. You know, last time they came in here, John, the Friars were ranked number 20 in the country and got spanked at the end of the year.
That's right. Last year, only have to go back to last March.
Yeah, when all that stuff was going on that we won't talk about. But the team came in here without Richmond, too. He didn't even play in that ball game, and he's their best player. But he's back in this one playing good basketball. This is a veteran Seton Hall team. They start 5 seniors and one's a 50th senior. So they got guys who've been playing together for a while, know how to play the game. They beat UConn by 15 points, 75-60 when the big fella Klingham was out. He got hurt in that ball game, but still, UConn's pretty formidable even without him, and this team took care of them down there at Seton Hall. So Friars have to be ready to play in this one. It's a tough team. They remember their coach, Gene Holloway, who played at Seton Hall, had a great, tough kid in the backcourt, point guard. I mean, he played the game like it was the last game he was going to play. So his players reflect that. They're tough and they're nasty and they get out after it. So it should be a good ball game, but the Friars coming off 10 days off and these guys being off a long time, we'll see what kind of rhythm each team has in this one.
Yeah, the historical significance tonight is the Friars get a third straight home game to start a Big East schedule for the first time in the 45-year history of the Big East. But for a third straight year, Joe, they can start 3-0.
Yeah, that would be nice, especially when you're at home, John. As you and I know, we've been doing the games a long time. You got to win those home games because they're very important, because when you go out on the road, at some point it's going to get difficult. The Friars' last 10 games, 7 of those are on the road. So you want to take advantage of the schedule now that you have at home, trying to win these home games.
Well, Seton Hall, as you mentioned, tough. They're really sort of the epitome of their head coach, and Shaheen Holloway. We'll jump into him a little bit more in a bit. But this team is 8-5. They're off to a 1-1 start in the Big East, and that one win they have was against 5th-ranked UConn.
Right, and they beat them by 15 points. Now, the big guy, Klingham, and we just mentioned, you know, he hurt himself in that game, didn't play the whole game, but this team has talent. Kadade Richmond, who transferred from Syracuse a couple of years ago, he's an NBA caliber player. He's 6'6", can play the point guard position. He can score, averages 15 points a game. He's not a great shooter from 3. He only shoots 10% from 3. That's probably the worst percentage we've seen all year at 2 for 19, but he gets it done inside. He gets to the basket. He's very big and tough to guard. And they have guys who can shoot from the perimeter. A very good shooting team. And they got toughness. Another guy who transferred from St. John's that Rick Pitino didn't want, Deowusu, comes over here to Seton Hall, and he gives them that nastiness on defense. So this is a formidable team that you have to be ready to play against every night.
One thing you probably want to do if you're Providence is try to get into that Seton Hall bench a little bit. It's an old team. It's an experienced team. It's not a deep team.
Right. They all average, 35 minutes a game, that starting 5. So you want to get into their bench. And the key guy in this one, too, is their big guy. I always worry about the big guy on the opposition. But that guy, Odoro, basically has to play a lot of minutes in the game and take care of it. But Badako, who plays for Seton Hall, I mean, he's a big guy, 5th-year senior, played out of Santa Clara against Gonzaga and St. Mary's out there in that tough Western Conference. So he's a guy that has experience and he gets some shot blocking. He's a good shot blocker, good rebounder. But they need him on the floor as well. So be a battle of those two guys to see who stays out of foul trouble.
Friars and Seton Hall Pirates coming up. We'll visit with the head coach of the Friars, Kim English, on the Seton Hall Pirates coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
See those two people sitting right across from us, the husband and the wife?
Yeah.
Their son played at Brown. Remember the name of the kid? And they always had season tickets here at Providence, even when he was at Brown. He was a starting forward for him at Brown.
How many years ago?
Oh, that was a number of years ago. But He's since graduated, obviously, but I forget their name. God,
Rhode Island Lottery, Rhode Island Restoration.
Don't think of it, yeah.
Santander Bank, Soggy Hot Dogs, C Corp, WPRI Channel 12, Audi Warwick, LaSalle Bakery, Rhode Island Medical Imaging, Quality Productions, Capital Grill, High Noon.
What's Gary Cohen's partner's name? I never remember his name.
Dave Popkin.
Dave
Popkin. P-O-P-K-A-N.
Dave Popkin.
Yeah.
So we try to bring a small firm feel. We try to get the results of a larger firm. My dad was a professor at Providence College, and what he inspired me the most with was working with people and really listening to them. They're part of the business, but at the same time, they're part of the family. I don't want to disappoint them. Tell me where you want to go, whether it's retirement, whether it's where you want to be in 10 years, and then let's get a plan together, and then let's feed that with the correct engine and understand how that happens.
Friar fans, we need your help to ice the shooter during the second half of tonight's game. During the second half, if the opposing team misses 2 consecutive free throws, everyone here tonight at the app will receive a Dunkin' gift card. Fans, everyone's a winner at Friartown. If the Friars have 7 assists in tonight's game, one lucky fan is going home with a prize pack, courtesy of the Rhode Island Lottery. The Providence Friars Game Day app is your home for Providence College basketball. Scan the QR code that you see on the video board right now and download that app.
Yeah, we don't ever play 3 in a row on the road, but we have 6 of the next 8 on the road.
I know. We play every Wednesday night on the road, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the next month.
Yeah,
For the next month, every Wednesday's on the road.
we play DePaul at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. We get home at 3 in the morning from that one.
Yeah, right.
Friar fans, the next Coach English radio show is coming up January 5th, 6 to 7 p.m. Don't miss out. Listen on the Go Friars Game Day app.
Friartown, what's up? It's your main man Flanny here alongside the legendary crowd favorite himself, Mr. DJ Finesse. We want to wish you a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. It's been another long day since we've been in the amp, so we know that energy is ready tonight, and we're going to need it for all 40 minutes. You can start it off by continuing the tradition in standing until the Friars score, presented by Laxington. Let's go, Friars!
Happy New Year, Friar fans. Nick Ross here in the Dave's Market Fresh Take of the game. Your number 23 Providence Friars host the Seton Pirates tonight at 6:30 p.m. on FS1 and on 99.7 FM WPRO. Today's trivia question. The Friars have been ranked in the AP poll at least 1 week for each of the last 3 seasons. When was the last time the program accomplished that feat? After an exciting overtime win against Butler before Christmas, the Friars resumed play after 10 days away from game action. This season, the Friars are 11-0 when scoring 71 or more points. In their 5 wins in December, the Friars averaged 78.6 points per game. Leading the way for the Friars has been Devin Carter. The junior guard was named Big East Player of the Week for the first time in his career.
He knows all this.
He averaged 23 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 3 assists.
But as he told me, he said it's because his assistants tell him.
In the 2 wins against Marquette and Butler. The Pirates sail into Friartown after starting league play at 1-1. Their first Big East game of the season was on December 20th.
I was talking to Nate Tomlinson today, and his dad's in from Australia. He's got you met him with the accent. He says, oh, I always listen to you, John, on the radio, you and John. He said, because when I'm watching TV, I get too nervous, and I just turn the radio on. Then I don't have to worry about looking at it. That's an interesting way of
looking at it.
The answer to tonight's trivia question, the last time the Friars were ranked in the AP poll for at least 1 week for 3 consecutive seasons was the stretch between 1975 and 1978. The Friars reached as high as 8th in the country in 1977 and had NCAA tournament appearances at the conclusion of the 1977 and 78 seasons. For more information on tonight's matchup, head to Friars.com and follow Friars MVP. And make sure you Dave's Market Fresh take on the game for PC Friars MVP on the Providence.
What do you want to do for the matchup? You want to do
Yeah, the big guys.
Richmond? Oh, no, you want to do Bediako against Oduro?
Bediako and Oduro.
Okay.
That's the key matchup, I think.
Okay.
Because if one of those guys gets in foul trouble,
yeah,
the whole game changes.
The other team could be cooked.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for your Providence College Friars.
I think Hopkins can have a good game in this one because there's nobody big enough to guard him on that
No.
Seton Hall team.
No.
I would post him up. I don't think Kim posts him up enough.
My guess is Davis would guard him.
Yeah, but he's kind of lean. He's not a big physical guy. I think Hopkins is more physical than him. Well, they can put Deauso. They put him on him when he was at St. John's.
Yeah.
To bother him.
Yeah.
Because he's physical.
Rich Barron reminds me a little bit of Adewusu, except a little bit smaller and a little better shooter.
A lot better shooter. That's why Patino didn't want him.
John and Joe back inside the amp, minutes away. Providence and Seton Hall tipping off here in the Big East Conference. It is time for our Midland Roofing Protect This House matchup of the game. And I know you have been looking inside of this one all day long.
Yeah, I did. I mean, Bediako, the center for Seton Hall, is a big guy, a fifth-year senior, just like Oduro is, John, and they're going to match up against each other. Both teams aren't deep on the back line there. I think that's the key matchup in the game. You need Josh Oduro on the floor without any foul trouble. You get Bediako out of the game for Seton Hall, and you can really get stuff to the rim. He's a good shot blocker in there, but they really don't have anybody to back him up on the Seton Hall team.
Well, the one guy that they have backing him up is Elijah Hutchins Everett, who's a transfer from Austin Peay. Played in 8 of their 13 games thus far, so he hasn't played in every game, and so they're a little thin on the inside, kind of like the Friars are once you get past the front line.
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging 2.9 rebounds a game. He's really not effective out there. He comes in, plays about 14 minutes, but he's not a guy you have to worry about on the offensive end. Defensively, he might bother people, but, after the Friars have to put Hopkins at the backup center, and that messes him up a little bit on the offensive end, physical-wise.
I think the other guy that you probably need to be concerned about, and this is with all due respect to Canary Richmond, who leads this team in scoring, but that's Alamir Dawes, the transfer from Clemson, because when he gets on a roll and it starts falling from outside, that makes Seton Hall really dangerous. He had a little bit of that going against UConn in their win.
Well, he's taken 88 three-pointers this year, and nobody on the Friars has come close to that except for Devin Carter, who's taken 78. So he gets some three-pointers up at the basket. He shoots 32% from three, and he can get it rolling out there, and you got to make sure he doesn't get into a rhythm. Worst thing you can do for a shooter is let him see a couple of those go through, and if you put some defense on him and slow him down.
Shaheen Holloway, we mentioned this a little bit earlier, Joe. He's in his second year as head coach at his alma mater. Those that remember him from his Big East playing days, he's first of all, he's the all-time leader in assists in school history. He's 17th in school history in scoring. He's 4th in steals. He's 8th in three-pointers made. And he was one of the toughest on-the-ball defenders I thought we've seen at Seton Hall in 35 years.
Yeah, he was a very good player, and his attitude out there on the floor was, you exuded confidence, and he was tough. And every game he went into, he felt like he was going to win. And when you have that kind of attitude, it resonates with your team. And he's done a good job with his club so far. And he has the kind of players that he like to coach right now. And he's got a veteran club. As Kim mentioned, they're the 15th oldest team in the country. So they've been around the wars a few times. So you got to be ready to play against them.
You at all worried about the layoff?
A little bit. I mean, when you're in a nice rhythm, the layoff can hurt you. I think the layoff will hurt the road team more than the home team. The home team's been here. You're comfortable at home, and the road team playing on the road is tough enough, but when you haven't played in 10 days, it gets a little tougher.
Seton Hall's last game was also on December the 23rd, as it was for the Friars, and they lost to Xavier 74-54. We'll have the starting lineups and the tip-off in the Big East. Providence, Seton Hall, next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Amica Mutual Pavilion for tonight's Big East matchup between the Seton University Pirates and your Providence College Friars. We ask you to please stand
Hey,
and
Doc.
join our players, coaches, and officials in honoring America and celebrating its freedom.
This is a weak referee crew tonight, I think.
Oh, I know,
Is the
man.
Dave's Marketplace Quartet.
Whoops.
Hello. And once again, we welcome you inside. Thank you very much. Our barbershop quartet singing the national anthem here again tonight. We welcome you inside the Amica Mutual Pavilion in Providence, Rhode Island, in the Big East. 23rd ranked Providence and the Seton Hall Pirates. And hi again, everyone. John Rooke along with Joe Hassett. Friars 11-2, 2-0 in Big East play. Tied for first place in the conference. Seton Hall is 8-5. They are 1-1 to start the conference schedule. A loss to Xavier back on December the 23rd. A win over UConn back on December the 20th by a 75-60 count. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island. For Seton Hall, under head coach Shaheen Holloway, the Seton Hall graduate in his second year as head coach. Kadari Richmond, 6'6" senior out of Brooklyn, transfer from Syracuse. All Big East candidate, averages 15 points and 6 rebounds per game. Leads the conference in steals at 2.5 steals per game. Alamir Dawes, 6'2" senior out of Newark, New Jersey, transfer from Clemson, 12.2 points per game, 32% shooter from 3. Dre Davis, 6'6" senior from Indianapolis, transfer from Louisville, 13.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and a 35% shooter from 3. Dylan Adewusu, transfer from St. John, 6'4" senior out of the Bronx, 8 points, 5 rebounds. And Jaden Bediako, a 6'10" graduate transfer from Santa Clara University out of Brampton, Ontario, at just under 10 points, and the leading rebounder at just more than 8 boards per game for the Seton Hall Pirates, who went 17-16 a year ago. 2 starters back, 5 players overall returning from last year's roster, 8 newcomers, team that reached the first round of the NIT in the postseason a year ago. It's the 113th meeting all time between Providence and Seton Hall. Friars lead the series, 57 wins to 55 for the Pirates. And now, let's meet your Providence Friars. Starting 5. At guard, 6'2" sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Number 1, Jaden Pierre. On the way, 6'7" graduate student, Buffalo, New York, number 0, Ticket Game. In the middle, 6'9" graduate student, Hazel, Virginia. Number 13, Josh O'Duro. At guard, 6'3" junior, Miami, Florida. Number 22, David Carter. And at forward, 6'7" junior, Rooke, Illinois. Number 23, Rice Hopkins. Head coach in England. No change to the Friars starting five. Hopkins, Carter, O'Duro, Gaines, Pierre.
Well, why change something that's working? You want that starting lineup to get out there and get it going. And
right,
the Friars are playing good basketball. Had that 10 days off, 5 days of no practice at all. I'm sure they're excited to get out here and play a ball game now and get back into Big East play.
She mentioned that Seton Hall is a little bit thinner than they normally are. We talked about how they don't have much of a bench, but a little thinner tonight because 6'1" freshman guard Malachi Brown out of Beaufort, Georgia, is unavailable with injury tonight, so they're a little shy in the backcourt.
You know, it's funny. You talk about benches and stuff. It's a new thing, I guess. But, you know, when John Wooden was coaching at UCLA and won all those championships, he never used more than 7 guys in a game. Right. You know, the starting five would play the whole time unless somebody got hurt or foul trouble or sick. Then they get in the game, substitution-wise. But today's day and age, though, you have the shot clock, worrying about three-pointers, and a lot of man-to-man defense. The intensity of the game, the speed of the game is much faster now, so you need extra people out there to be able to put in and sub guys.
These two teams split the two meetings between the two a year ago. Friar fans will undoubtedly recall what happened on March the 4th when Seton Hall came in here and trashed Providence by an 82-58 count. Providence won at the Prudential Center, 71-67. Disappointing end to last season.
Yeah, you think about it, the Friars are 49-3, best home record in basketball last 3 years in college basketball, and 2 of the losses were 2 of the last 3 games of the year here. They lost to Xavier at home and got blown out by Seton Hall.
And so the Friars will try to make amends somewhat. We mentioned they lead the series all-time 57-55, but the two teams have split the last 6 games here at the AMP. In fact, Joe, go back to 1985. Providence and Seton Hall are 16-16 against each other.
Yeah, I know. That's the matchups. You think about 57 and 55 over the length of time. I mean, that's pretty evenly matched clubs over the years. It's always been, you know, Providence and Seton Hall's third most played opponent in their history. So you think about these teams have seen each other a lot, and the records reflect it.
Friars in the home whites, black numerals, black lettering, black and white trim. Seton Hall wearing their road gray uniforms tonight with white lettering, blue and white trim, blue and white lettering and numerals on the front and on the back. So the white against the gray tonight here at the AMP. Big East officiating crew features Clarence Armstrong, Jeff Anderson, and Mike Roberts. Clarence Armstrong, the lead official. O'Duro and Bediaco in the center jump circle. We're ready to go with the Big East at the AMP. The ball is double tapped, controlled by Seton Hall in the backcourt to our right. And the Pirates will have a basket to our left here on the radio in half number 1. Friars open up in a man-to-man, top of the key. Canary Richmond drives around Devin Carter, double teamed on the right wing, throws it back out to Davis between the circles. Comes to left wing, Wusu gets off a three-pointer, can't get it. Rebound tapped by O'Duro, right to Carter.
You always see the defense has changed a little bit for the Friars. They want Diusu to take that outside shot. They're going double.
Friars go basket to our right here in the first half on the radio. Pierre finds O'Duro, scores in the post.
Nice pick and roll right there. O'Duro gives him a nice screen and then has some space there to throw the bounce pass into him for the layup.
Friars strike first. Here come the Pirates into the forecourt again to our left. Alamir Dawes drives on the left side. Now to the top of the key for Davis. Comes left for Wusu. The the St. John's transfer. Now for Richmond. They leave him alone. He fires a 3 and he hits.
Well, he can have that one. He's 2 for 19 for the year. You want him taking that shot.
Now make him 3 for 20.
Yeah, well, he can have that shot. That's the best thing to happen with the Friars. He thinks he can make them now. You want him to take that shot.
Top of the key to the left is Hopkins. Now on the high post for O'Duro. O'Duro turns and looks at Bediaco and hands off for Pierre, who curls to the left. Now he goes left wing. Gaines gets up a deep 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound for Richmond on the left side. Now into the forecourt on the right sideline for Dawes. Dawes stops, guarded there by Pierre. Dumps it off now for Wusu, and he's got Gaines guarding him. Wusu hands off. Davis curls to the right. Now Dawes pushes back to the left for Wusu in front of the Friar bench. Now he'll get dribble penetration. Come to Rich outside the three-point stripe on the right wing with 8 to shoot. Shakes off Carter. Goes to the left corner. Wusu for 3. 2 in a row hit by the Pirates.
Well, they're not good three-point shooters either. Be the guy next to make the three-point shot or even look at it, but they're knocking them down so far.
Yeah, Seton Hall is a team just 29% from 3 on the season coming into this game, but they hit their first 2 here and a 6-2 early Pirate lead. Pierre drives down the lane to the left side, goes up a little fadeaway. Off the rim, it won't go. Richmond gets the offside rebound.
That's a good look right there. You'll take that all ball game.
Good dribble penetration on that play. Just didn't get the basket fall. Wusu bounces to the right side, stolen by Carter. Carter has Hopkins on the right wing. Carter dumps it off to Hopkins, who drives in, missed the dunk and falls to the floor. And then they call basket interference, and it will be Seton Hall ball.
Well, he missed the dunk, and then he hung on the rim, tried to tip it in, almost hurt himself, landed on his back. But, that's those rhythm things you talk about, but he's stretching his shoulders right now the way he landed.
Yeah, he landed awkwardly after he missed the dunk and tried to tip it back in. So that's where, as you said, the basket interference was called. Now there's pressure in the backcourt here for the Friars, and
it's a turnover because it wasn't a made basket. That's right. Can't shuffle your feet out of bounds.
Dre Davis walked out of bounds, moved his feet. Can't do it after a miss. You're right. So the Friars get it on the turnover.
Most officials tell you can't move or you can move, and I guess they didn't tell him on that one, and he gets
forgot.
A turnover.
So Pierre will inbound it right side baseline now. Finds Carter on the baseline, drives into the paint, loses the ball in the paint, picked up, stolen back, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be off of the Friars.
Friars look a little rusty out there right now on the offensive end. A turnover there.
So Seton Hall will get the ball. 17:41 to go in the opening half. 6-2 is the early Seton Hall advantage. Pressure again in the backcourt. Davis keeps his feet planted this time. Finds Dawes. And Alamir Dawes, the Clemson transfer, will bring it low against Jaden Pierre. Now for Davis to the right wing. Finds Richmond. Richmond comes off the screen. Gets in the lane. Puts it up with the right hand. Goes off the rim and in.
That's where he's really good in there, Richmond, when he gets to the basket.
And it's an 8-2 Seton Hall start to this game on an 8-0 run. Here's Gaines lobbing it to Oduro in the post. Drives into the lane with the left hand. Spins around. Turnaround jump hook is good.
How about that? I mean, he is so good. You need a hoop. You go right to him. Nice little fall away there in the paint.
He's got both of the Friar baskets. 8-4. Hall with the lead. Richmond now has it. Picked up by Carter off the top of the key. Starts with a right-hand dribble, edges to the right side, going to stop and pop from 17. Can't get it. Rebound tapped, Oduro right to Hopkins.
See the defense they're doing, John? They're going underneath the screens. They want him to shoot the outside shot.
Here's Hopkins, stopped to the top of the key. Now finds Gaines on the right wing and a whistle. Do we have a tangle on the inside?
Got a foul on big fella.
Yep, on Bediako.
Bediako trying to get in front of Oduro right there. But see the defense of the Friars, John, they normally fight over the top of the screens.
Yep.
But in this ball game, they're going underneath the screens on both Richmond and Diawuso. They want them to shoot the outside shot. They've made 2 so far, but a steady diet of that's what the Friars want, them shooting the outside shot.
First foul of the ball game on either team. Friars inbound with the baseline. There's a lob out to Oduro near the foul line. Bediako's on him. Comes off the right side now for Carter. Doesn't get the look against Wusu. Goes inside. Turn around. Oduro. Bank shot. Goes up and in again.
Good pass there by Carter. Bounce pass in the paint. Oduro finishes it off.
He's got all 6 of the Friar points. 2-point Pirate lead. Dawes into the forecourt now. Picked up by Pierre. Hands off for Davis. Davis now for Richmond. Bounce pass back to Dawes out in the center circle. Dawes gets a high screen. Cuts to the left. Gets down the lane. Puts up the runner. Off the rim. No. And snatched away by Carter. Pushing up the floor, right wing Gaines tries to attack inside, pulls up from 12 and scores.
There's that fast break. Great rebound there by Carter. He was hanging around the rim, grabbing it. Then they get it off there, and Gaines filling the lane, finishes it off.
Gaines' first basket. Friars tie it at 8, 6-0 run. We're 4 minutes deep into the first half. Richmond walks into the forecourt to the top of the key with it. There's Carter waiting for him. He drives to the right, gets dribble penetration. Blocked! Out of bounds by Carter. He said,
Yeah, Richmond's shaking his head. Yes, that good block. But see, they're letting Richmond go on the drives right there, then try to get him to stop him. They want him to take the outside shot, John. They're getting underneath the screens.
Timeout on the floor, 15:52 to go in the opening half. We're tied at 8 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
That's the whole strategy in this ballgame. The Friars love to fight over the top of the screens and make it tough when you turn the corner.
Yeah.
In this game here, that you notice they're going underneath and they're saying you can do what you want.
Yeah. Little different philosophy.
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to do when you have guys who can't shoot, like Richmond and Diawusu are not good shooters from the outside. But they can get to the basket. Now that's what you want. Take that away as much as you can.
Please welcome to the floor your Providence College cheerleaders and dance team.
They're so well prepared too, the coaching. You see when they were coming down the defense, they're yelling blue, blue, and they put the cards up.
Yeah.
That's the defense they want them to play. You know, the other defense might be a different color where you're fighting over the top,
right?
And they'll give them that color.
Yeah.
So everybody knows, all the guys know where they're supposed to be defensively, which is important. You know, everybody's got a system to get it done.
Absolutely.
You don't like one guy playing blue, another guy playing green,
right?
Then you get beat. Kevin. Thank you. We just need one. That's fine. All right, I got it.
15 or 13? 15. John and Joe back inside the amp. Providence College basketball brought to you in part by Dave's Marketplace. Fresh take of the game. Well, Seton Hall shot 2 of 15 from three-point range in their loss to Xavier 10 days ago, but they've gotten off to a good start shooting the three here. That's why we're tied early.
Yeah, you know, when you look at this team, the way Coach English is setting up the defense, John, we're talking on commercial, you know, they have different colors for the defense that they want to play. And in this ball game, you want to go underneath the screen. What that is the Friars like to fight over the top of the screen on a pick and pop or a pick and roll. But in this game, they're going underneath the screen with Kadari Richmond and Diawusu, who aren't great outside shooters, especially Richmond, who came in 2 for 13. Now, he hit a 3 in the game. You saw the shot. It was very funky looking. But he doesn't want to shoot threes. He wants to get to the basket where he's very effective at 6'6". He did that time, get to the basket, but Carter knows he doesn't have to worry about the outside shot. He blocks the shot going to the basket. So they're taking away the strength of this Seton Hall team going to the basket. They want them to shoot threes. Very rarely in college basketball today most coaches will say, well, we got to take away the three. No, in this game, you want them to take the three, except for like a Dre Davis who can make that outside shot, and Dawes who can also shoot that shot. They'll go over the top of the screen on those guys.
Seton Hall basketball, 14 to shoot, 15:52 to go in the first half. We're tied at 8. Pirates have hit 2 of their first 3 overall from three-point range. Dawes looks for the inbound from the baseline to the right of the basket. Going to lob it into the corner to Bediako. Now Jaden Bediako lobs it back out front for Dawes. Dawes has it near the midcourt circle, down to 7 to shoot. Dawes now begins to make his move, but Bediako sets the screen. He drives inside, loses the ball, it's tipped away and stolen. Here comes Carter up the floor, one-on-one with Richmond. Drives, puts it up, can't get it to go. Ball gets tipped out and taken by Dawes.
Good job by Richmond getting back there to challenge that shot.
He sure did, and Richmond goes behind his back, gets in the lane, dumps it off to Bediako, and he scores off the glass.
It's a 4-point swing right there. You know, Carter goes so fast sometimes. I mean, once in a while you can stop, pull up, and do a pump fake, get an easy layup.
First basket for Bediako, and Seton Hall back a little by a deuce. Here's Hopkins on the drive, crosses over, banks it up,
nice
scores
move
from the left side.
I think if the game gets wide open, that's where Hopkins can really be a factor out there because there's nobody on this team that can guard Hopkins.
First basket for Bryce, we're tied at 10. Dawes now has it with a left-hand dribble around the arc to the left, hands off for Richmond. Richmond pushes the right side for Wusu, gets to the right elbow, stops out front for Davis. Now Davis penetrates on Hopkins, gets down into the post on the right wing, goes now, turn around, jumper middle of the lane, around the rim, no, and Carter with the rebound, tipped out to Oduro. Gives it back to Devin. Devin now has the dribble on the drive into the forecourt to our right. Gains, left corner, Hopkins for 3, off the rim, it won't go.
That was a good look. Didn't make the shot, though.
Richmond with the ball now for the Hall. Drives left, gets down the lane, big jump step, puts it up, can't get it, rebound Gaines. Good defense by Carter.
Carter's playing really good defense on Richmond. He's not used to getting guys challenged in his shot out there.
Here's Carter with the ball right, now comes with the left-hand dribble to the left, back to the center, reverses back to the right, look for penetration down into the block, and a travel.
Carter trying to do some things he's not used to doing that time. A little bit too much dribble. He got to move the ball there. Try to make up for that missed layup he had, but that one there, he's got to move the ball. He's doing a little bit too much dribble on that play.
That's 3 turnovers for the Friars here in the opening 6 minutes of the ball game. A number that we'll keep an eye on. Seton Hall again with the basketball, still tied at 10. Dawes hands off, almost stolen by Gaines. Wusu now has it at the top of the key, pushes left for Davis. Davis hands off Richmond, thought about the three, penetrates instead, loses the ball, picks it back off, hands off for Davis, drives the right side. Wusu gets an open look at three, can't get that. Rebound is tipped over to Carter by Gaines.
Good job by Gaines. Didn't give up on the play, got a hand on it.
Carter, long pass, finds Pierre in the left corner. Quick pass into the post for Oduro. Oduro turns around with a jump hook and scores again.
Oduro's unstoppable in there. Nobody can guard him inside there. He's got 8 points of the 10 to 12 the Friars have.
And the Friars grab the lead. Oduro is at 4 of 4 from the floor. It's 12-10. Their first lead since 2-0. Left side for Wusu, right in front of Kim English on the Friar bench. Back center now for Richmond. Richmond bounces high post. Bediako takes dribble to the right side. Bounce pass for Dawes. Goes over the layup. Missed the shot. Rebound on Bediako. Missed the rebound. And there is Hopkins to pull it away. Now Hopkins on the drive. Down the middle of the lane. Tries to kick it up underneath. And what's the call?
Picked up a foul.
Foul kick out front on Seton Hall on the drive. It's called on Dylan Adewusu.
I like what I'm seeing in Hopkins right now, John. He's getting the rebound, and he's beating everybody down the floor. He's leading the fast break. Guys were ahead of him on defense, and he blew right by him. Picks up the foul.
First sub for the Friars. Gaines and Pierre out. Duval and Corey Floyd enter. Pirates have hit just one of their last 9 shots from the floor, and they're going to bring in Elijah Hutchins Everett, junior transfer from Austin Peay, to replace Bediako in the middle.
Well, they want to try somebody new on Oduro because he's just wearing out Bediako.
The Friars have it inbound from the baseline, right of the basket. Duval lobs it to Oduro. Oduro goes on the floor, spins inside, raises it up, and scores easily.
Man, he says, who's out here? I got Casper the Ghost on me. Nobody can guard me.
That is 10 of the 14 Friar points for Josh Oduro. Friars up 4. Wusu has it left wing, gets screened away from Floyd. Now to the right side for Dawes. Dawes tries to shake off Duval, moves to the left, fires the 3 short. Rebound for Hopkins on the floor. Got it tipped away, almost stolen by Davis, but Hopkins gets it back. Now Hopkins pushes the dribble into the forecourt right side. Kicks it off left for Duval, fakes left, goes inside, finds Carter open for 3. Got it!
Nice play by Duval, man. Great penetration on that play. Drew 2 defenders soon and finds Carter for the open 3. Kim Ingles runs out and grabs Duval and hugs him and says, good play right there. Great recognition finding the open guy.
And a 30-second timeout called by Shaheen Holloway and Seton Hall here with 12:32 to go in the half. We'll take the timeout as well. 17-10, the Friars on a 15-2 run. Are we not going to take the timeout? Nope.
No timeout?
Nope. No. All right. Still going to stay with the 30 then, I guess.
All right, we're talking about this Friar team. You know, they down 8-2 early. Seton Hall had 2 3-pointers, John. 2 guys you want to take the 3. You want the Owusu. You know, you want to put a hand up on him. He's not bad at 30%, but Richmond's at 19% or 10%. You want him taking threes. He made 1, but he wants to get to the basket. They got him going in the first, gets 6 points right out of the gate, and say, okay, maybe we should change our strategy. Kim Ingles turned around and said, nope, keep doing what you're doing. And the Friars just keep going underneath the screen. And by going underneath the screen when the shot goes up, everybody has defensive rebounding position as well. Hopkins is getting the rebounds, and he's flying down the floor. And the Friars are getting some good looks.
Hall basketball, 12.5 to go after the calling of the 30-second timeout. Friars on a 15-2 run. Here's Dawes with it on the right sideline against Duval now in the Friar man defense. Out between the circles, Richmond drives left, got screened away, pulls up from 15 off the front of the rim. Nope, Hopkins rebounds, and then Hopkins gets fouled by Hutchins Everett.
Yeah, the defense is really good. I mean, the Friars doing a good job. Richmond had a decent look right there, but the Friars were all over the glass. Seton Hall is really reluctant to go the offensive glass because when the Friars get the rebound, it's like
they take
everybody's
off.
Flying. It's like a track meet.
Pirates are just 1 for their last 11 from the floor. Little pressure in the backcourt. Friars break it. Hopkins, left side. Floyd penetrates, gets down into the post, looks in, goes back out for Duval. Top of the key, Carter comes right for Hopkins. Hopkins feeds Oduro on the right side. He spins on Everett, kicks the ball through, in and out of the hands. Hopkins saves it in the left corner. Out to Duval on the left flat with 9 to shoot. Top of the key for Carter. Gets around Dawes.
Nice pass.
Feeds to Oduro, and Oduro gets fouled as he attacks the basket.
Richmond got him on the reach-in right there. Good job there by Carter. He penetrated the basket, saw the clock coming down. Bounce pass in the paint, John. And then you get it over to Oduro, who's 80% from the foul line.
Kadari Richmond picks up the foul. His first, team's 4th. And we have an official timeout with 11:51 to go in the opening half. 17-10, the Friar lead over the Seton Hall Pirates. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Man, I wish Oduro was a freshman.
No kidding.
He was so damn good.
I wish he was a senior. He could come back for a grad year.
I know. He'd get another year out of him, I know. Maybe they can figure something out. Some people have played 6 years.
Right. Got to get a red shirt somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to make one up.
Well, you called it. Josh Oduro.
Pre-game, yeah, he's the guy, man. I'll put that on Twitter too, man. He's so important to his team. You know, we talk about, Carter's a highlight film and Hopkins is,
Most important guy is Oduro.
He is. He's the most important guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be going on with the Friar prize back. Everybody give it up one more time for Harrison. That was against the Smile Trivia Questions presented by Delta Dental Rhode Island. Let's go Friars.
Thank you.
Providence College basketball brought to you in part by Finetco, a family of lumber yards. John and Joe at the AMP, 11:51 to go in the opening half. A 17-10 Friar lead. The run is still 15-2.
Yeah, big run by the Friars, John, and shooting the ball very well. I'm clicking on all cylinders. Josh Oduro, one of my favorite guys in the country, never mind just the Friars. He's 5 for 5 from the floor. And just like pirouettes inside, there's nobody on Seton Hall that can guard him right now. Friars are 8 for 13 from the floor, 1 for 3 from three-point range. Friars have 9 rebounds. No offensive rebounds so far. They really don't need any. They're finishing at the rim. Seton Hall, on the other hand, just 4 for 15 from the floor, 2 of 5 from 3, which is unusual. They're not a team that looks to take the 3. They have 6 rebounds, 2 of those offensive. Seton Hall has 3 turnovers. The Friars with 3. Friars have 5 assists on their 8 made baskets. Seton Hall has 2 assists on their 4 made baskets.
Yeah, Friars are in the top 10 nationally in 2-point field goal defense. Seton Hall right now shooting 2 is just 2 for 10.
And Friars have challenged every shot. Friars are quick to the ball too, John. And their principles on defense, fighting over the screen or going underneath the screen, really is dictated by the personnel of the opposition. And they change every game, and it's been working so far.
Isaiah Coleman, 6'5 freshman out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, checks in for the first time for Seton Hall. And it will be Josh Oduro going to the free throw line. Josh has led the Friars in free throw shooting most of the year, right at about 80%. 79.5 coming into the game. And the first shot here around the rim and goes down. He used every bit of the rim on that one.
Well, he still hasn't missed a shot in the game. Knock on wood here, John.
Reverse whammy.
Reverse whammy.
Technically.
He's 5 for 5 from the floor, 1 for 1 from the line.
Jaden Pierre is perfect from the line of the season at 13 for 13.
How about that?
Second shot for Oduro. Bounces on the way. Good.
Balls
so now,
it in there.
Josh has 12 of the 19 Friar points. And Providence now a 17-2 run, leading at 19-10. Richmond into the forecourt, push to the left wing. And there with the ball is Coleman, the 6'5 freshman. Back out front for Richmond. Richmond penetrates on Carter, bounces again to Dre Davis in front of the Friar bench. Davis penetrates on Gaines, gets 1 foot into the lane, spins into the lane, turn around with a fadeaway and got it.
That's a good shot there, but he had to work for it. Good defense by Gaines. He was right on the shooting hand. The guy just made a good shot. Good shot by Davis.
First basket for Dre Davis, averaging a little better than 13 points per game. And that stops the 17-2 Friar run here in the half. Duval crosses over Dawes, feeds the right side for Carter, who gets off the 3. Too strong. Rebound tipped, batted around, picked up by Floyd in the lane. Goes to the floor for it in the right corner, right in front of the Seton Hall bench. And we got a held ball. The arrow belongs to Providence.
Good job by Corey Floyd. I mean, he came flying in out of nowhere, the smallest guy on the floor. He gets the tie-up ball right there. All his teammates pick him up off the floor. Great hustle there by Floyd.
Oduro comes out for his first dress. Rafael Castro comes in. Carter comes out. And Jaden Pierre returns for the Friars. The Friars will get it here with 20 to shoot. 11:02 to go in the half. And they're yelling out the instructions to Garway Duval. You might be able to hear the Friar assistant in the background just in front of us. And so they're going to inbound it in front of the Hall bench near the right corner. Pierre standing right in front of the Pirates bench. Looks for the inbounds, finds Castro out on the perimeter. Now finds Gaines off the top of the key and a whistle and an offensive foul.
On Dual setting the screen, I think.
Yep.
Galway, when you set the screen, you can't move. You got to just set it, and you have to have your teammate set his man up off the screen. When you lean in, that's where they get you.
Fourth Friar turnover in the first 9 minutes. First foul called on the Friars here in the opening half of the ball game. Seton Hall with it. Dawes bounces in the forecourt. Top of the key for Richmond. Richmond guarded now by Floyd. Drives to the right, pulls up with the free throw line jumper. Nope. Rebound Gaines. Gaines in the middle of the lane. Stops, looks, passes off to Pierre on the right side. Pierre with a left-hand dribble into the forecourt to our right. Backs his way toward the sideline. Now works his way back to the center. Pushes the ball to Dual. Garway now has it against Dre Davis. Screen set by Castro. And a travel.
Yeah, Galway tried to shake him. They forgot to put the ball on the floor on the shake and picks up the travel.
That's a couple of turnovers in 2 straight possessions here for Garway Dual. Dylan Adewusu back into the game for Seton Hall.
You got to remember, he's still a freshman, and he's got all kinds of ability. Sometimes he just gets a little ahead of himself out there.
So Dawes bounces into the forecourt and pushes there for Coleman. Back up front for Wusu. Hands off for Dawes. Dawes comes off the screen to the right side. Free throw line jumper up and in for Alamir Dawes. His first basket.
Yeah, you got to fight over the top of the screen on Dawes. They didn't get over that time.
2 straight baskets here. Seton Hall back within 5. Pierre now comes to between the circles for Dual. Comes back to the right side for Floyd. Floyd gets a screen, works to the left, stops top of the key, back to Jaden. Jaden gets penetration out to Corey. Corey fakes the 3, drives on Wusu, kicks the ball underneath, in and out of the hands of Castro. And there's just no rhythm right now to the Friar offense on the floor.
Yeah, the defense has been pretty good right there the last 3 times for Seton Hall, but guys can usually get what they want.
That's 3 straight turnovers on 3 straight possessions now, and Floyd comes out, Hopkins comes back in.
Well, when you have both Carter and Hopkins on the bench, you know, your offense is going to be a little bit skittish out there. So to get Hopkins back in the game.
Here comes Dawes into the forecourt left. Out in front, Isaiah Coleman standing in the center circle. Guarded by Dual, works off a screen. Dawes has it on the left wing against Pierre. Now bounce pass down to Davis in the post. Davis tries to spin on Hopkins. Works his way slowly toward the free throw line. Gets into the lane. Turn around with a fadeaway jumper. Can't get it. Rebound out to Hopkins. Hopkins up the left side into the forecourt. Spins off the top of the key. Keeps his dribble alive. Hands off for Dual. Cuts to the left. Around the screen. Looks left wing. Finds Pierre. Fakes it. Now backs it out again. Outside the 3-point strike. Up high for Hopkins. Uses the high screen again. Cuts to the left. Gets penetration down into the block. Stops. Looks underneath. Finds Castro. Ball flies into the air and is taken away again. Castro can't control it. And Seton Hall with a steal.
Yeah, he has a tough time catching the ball. I mean, they set him up nicely with passes. He's just got to finish.
Yeah, that's twice out of the last 4 times they tried to get him the ball, and they've turned it over 4 straight possessions. And there is a carry called on Alamir Dawes.
Good defense by Pierre right there as he got in front of him and almost turned the ball over, and he carried the ball so it wouldn't get stolen.
Castro and Dual come out. Carter and Oduro back in. Let's see if we can get some continuity back here. Friars with the basketball as Providence now scoreless in the last 3 minutes. They still have a 19-14 lead. Carter has it off the top of the key, drives on Wusu to the right. He feeds Oduro on the post, starts to the left, turn around with a jump hook, a score.
When you're scoreless, you go into the big fella in there and you make sure you score. He's 6 for 6 right now, and it's just nobody on Seton Hall can guard him.
And he's got 14 of the 21 Providence points on the board. Alamir Dawes drives left, puts up the runner, can't get it. Rebound for Hopkins. Pushes up the left side. Here's Carter in transition. Kicks it through to Gaines. Gaines has it outside the 3-point stripe. Takes the dribble back to the center of the floor on Wusu. Now dumps it off for Hopkins. Hopkins picked up by Davis. Goes to the left corner. Drives into the baseline. Works his way into the post. Loses the dribble. Spins to the inside. Fakes. Goes up with it. Puts it up. Gets fouled.
Good job by Hopkins being patient right there. He was working a pick and pop with Oduro. Oduro gets some space for him, and Hopkins spun the baseline. Gets the pump fake, gets it on the foul line.
Dre Davis picks up his first foul. That's 5 on the team. It'll put Hopkins at the line shooting 2. And Rich Barron getting set to come into the game for his first appearance here with 8:03 to go in the first half. Hopkins to the foul line, only 65% from the free throw line this season. And that one is no good.
Rich Barron checks in for the Flyers.
So Barron into the game, did not play against Butler 10 days ago. Had an allergic reaction. They decided to hold him out for precautionary reasons. And now he's back in there.
Well, he usually gets in the ball game. As soon as he touches it, he's open and he fires and makes the shot as Hopkins makes the second free throw.
It's 1 of 2. 3 points for Hopkins in the half. It's 22-14. Friars by 8. We're just under 8 minutes to play. On the right side with it is Sadrane Nganga. Inside jump hook is up and in.
By
and Kadari Richmond got the feed from Nganga and put it in and got the foul.
On Odoro, too. Yeah, that's the first time the Friars didn't go underneath the screen right there. They tried to get over the top, and then when you do that, Richmond has the way he wants into the paint there, and he picks up the shot and the foul.
So first foul on Oduro, second on the team. Timeout with 7:52 to go. Providence 22, Seton Hall 16. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Thank you.
One more time here, BC Nasty.
The Hot Potato Food Truck, a proud partner of PC Athletics. For your next event, call the Hot Potato Food Truck at 401-919-3009.
You know, the Friars were rolling along there, and they went to a substitution pattern there, and then kind of bogged down the offense a little bit, but you got to spell guys, and the Friars had like 3 turnovers in 5 possessions when they did go to the bench, and it allowed Seton Hall to catch up a little bit, but Friars up 22-16, and you got big guy Richmond going to the foul line here for a 3-point play opportunity. Looks like the Friars have been dominating the stats too, John. They're 9 for 15 from the floor, 1 for 4 from 3, 3 of 4 from the foul line, 13 rebounds, so just 6 rebounds for Seton Hall. Seton Hall, on the other hand, 7 for 21. They're 2 for 5 from 3. 4 turnovers for Seton Hall, but 7 turnovers for the Friars in this one, and Seton Hall has been able to take advantage of those.
And that's why, that's why they haven't pulled away, Joe.
Exactly. Seton Hall's had 6 more shots than the Friars have on the floor. But Friars back to basically their starting lineup again, except for Barron in there. And they need to tighten it up on the offensive end. Getting good looks. I mean, this Seton Hall team's not bad defensively, but you can get what you want out there on the offensive end, especially Odoro. Odoro was 6 for 6 in the game and 2 for 2 from the line. The leading scorer so far with 14 points.
So Kadari Richmond goes to the line for the first time tonight for Seton Hall. As a team, they shoot a little better than 75%. Third in the Big East Conference. And Richmond free throw in and out, no good. Jinxed him. Hopkins rebound.
Hopkins with his 7th rebound in the first half.
Here's Pierre, comes off the screen, fires a deep 3, in and out, it won't go, and the rebound is controlled by Coleman.
That's a good look. That's his shot out there.
Here's Richmond on the drive, gets into the lane, scoops to the hoop and scores.
Yeah, he can finish at the rim. You want him taking jumpers. And he's getting to the basket. Last 2 times he's gotten to the basket, he scored both times.
He's got 9 of the 18 Seton Hall points. They've pulled back within 4.
There's a zone right now by Seton Hall, looks like.
Just about to say they pulled into a 2-3 zone with Richmond and Wusu out front. Pierre penetrates, left corner for Hopkins, back to Pierre, out front now for Carter. Back again for Pierre on the left side of the zone. He gets dribble penetration, meets the roadblock out there. Oduro comes out to fire a three, can't get it. Rebound is tapped up and is taken by Wusu in the middle of the lane.
Little change up right there by Seton Hall with the zone.
Here's Coleman on the left wing now. Friars in a man. Coleman has it left side. Richmond then bobbles it. He's picked up and now guarded by Hopkins. Bounces to the right side for Wusu. Ngonga comes left for Coleman. Back out front for Richmond. Comes off a screen there by Everett Hutchins. Now to left side for Coleman. He gets off a
Way
catch and
off.
shoot three. It's an air ball. Barron with a rebound. Now for Pierre. Pierre with a left-hand dribble up the right side into the forecourt. Right corner for Carter. Feeds Oduro in the post. Well out on the baseline now. Hutchins is right behind him. Hutchins Everett. He's going to back his way in from the right side. Looks to the left. Spins to the right and a foul.
He's so patient out there. You look at Oduro, and he's going to take what you give him. And he might, want to get to the middle, but he'll be patient and probe and finally get to the middle, shoot a little fall away or a little up and under a la Kevin McHale. But he has all the moves inside. Very difficult to guard.
Hutchins Everett picks up his second foul, comes out of the game. That's team foul 6. And they'll bring Jaden Bediako back into the lineup. Friars get a fresh shot clock. Pierre inbounds out to Oduro, drives on Bediako, goes over the short little bank shot, missed it. And the rebound for Coleman.
Good defense there by Bediako. Made the tough shot for
Got a
Oduro.
body on him, and here comes Richmond right down the right side. Can't get it. Bediako offensive rebound. Muscles his way on the left side. Tries to wrap around. Can't get it. Barron rips it away.
Push it.
Now Barron with the drive into the forecourt. Pushes the left side for Hopkins. They fall off on him. He doesn't take the three. Looks to penetrate on Wusu down to the baseline. Wants to reverse, get into the lane. Kicks it through to Carter. Carter gets down into the post. Scoops it up. Can't get it. Rebound taken by Seton Hall. Now for Richmond. Richmond pushes right side Wusu. He's going to attack. Scoops it up. Missed the shot. Rebound Bediako. Kicks the ball out. Richmond finds Wusu. Open left corner three. Misses everything. And Carter rebound.
The Friars got to get their offense going for some reason. They're just not clicking out there in the offensive end.
And their defense is causing all kinds of Seton Hall problems. Pierre comes off a high screen. Right side for Carter. Back left for Jaden. 5:15 to go. It's 22-18. Pierre drives to the left. He finds Oduro, got poked away. Pierre goes to the floor to save it. Gets it back to Carter. And there's an over and back violation called on the Friars. Tried to save it from going into the backcourt. Carter was trying to say it got tipped, but the possession never really changed.
I think the Friars were clicking so well on offense, John. They felt like it was going to be easy in this one, and they lost their rhythm right now. And Seton Hall's attacking, getting to the glass. That's what they want to do, and that's why they're back in the ball game. Friars offensively has been sputtering out there. The defense hasn't been that bad. They're making Seton Hall work, but Seton Hall doing the type of game they want to do, get to the glass. The Friars offensively have just turned the ball over too much.
Yeah, they're just 1 for their last 6. They're scoreless in the last 2:55. Here's Richmond. Comes off a high screen. Kicks it out to Davis, who plants for 3 and hits. Dre Davis shoots 34% from 3. Gets his first one to go. And we got a 1-point game. Friars were up by 9 here early in the first half. It's down to 1.
It was 17-10 at one point.
A 7-0 Seton Hall run. Pierre takes it to the right. Now cuts back to the left. 2-3 zone again for Seton Hall. Gaines, right corner. Hopkins kicks the ball back out to Gaines. Top. Now comes right side. Hopkins for 3. Around the rim. It won't go down.
That's a good look. See, Seton Hall wants Hopkins to take threes. They don't want him to get to the basket, just like Richmond.
Yeah, Hopkins only 19% from three-point range on the season. Really struggled with the outside shot. And now Seton Hall looking to retake the lead. Here's Richmond. Wants to go one-on-one. Hopkins is on him. Drives to the left. Crossover in the lane. What is that call?
Tied up.
Tied up. They call a held ball, and the possession belongs to Seton Hall. So he crossed over. Hopkins got his hands on the ball, and they'll call the jump or the tie.
Good D by Hopkins right there as he took it away from Richmond playing that backcourt position.
12 to shoot. Inbounds from the baseline. Out front for Davis. Davis now picked up there by Hopkins off the top of the key. Down to 7 to shoot. Davis drives on Hopkins. Gets down to the right block. Tries to curl underneath with a wraparound. Can't get it. Davis gets the offensive rebound. Goes back up. Got it to go and got fouled.
I thought Hopkins did a good job defensively the whole time. And Davis just got a little longer to get that rebound and gets the score and the foul.
First foul on Bryce Hopkins. 3rd team foul on the Friars. That is a strong piece of work down low for Dre Davis as he gives his team the lead with 4:03 to go in the half. Corey Floyd re-enters the game Hopkins is going to the sideline. And Davis, 78% foul shooter on the season, has 7 points here in the first half. Free throw is on the way and good. He's got 8. Seton Hall has a 2-point lead. It's 24-22. It's a 10-0 Pirate run.
Yeah, the Friars are going to that zone, and the Friars have a tough time getting the score against it.
So Pierre gets it into the forecourt. Wusu on that side of the zone comes out to take him almost in a man set. And he'll draw back into the zone, comes to the left wing for Carter. Carter feeds Oduro in the post. Oduro, Bediako fronts him, gets into the lane, sweeps around, got the shot blocked by Bediako. Friars had it taken away by Wusu on the corner.
Well, good D again by Seton Hall. Help defense on the big fella inside Oduro.
Seton Hall's zone is giving the Friars all kinds of trouble right now. Davis has it out front for Dawes, back out between the circles for Richmond, and an offensive foul. Bediako called for the illegal screen. That's his second personal. That's also 7 on Seton Hall. It'll be Friar basketball when we return. 3:24 to go in the half. Cold spell here in Providence. Seton Hall 24, Providence 22. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Friar Town, it's now time for a fan favorite. Nostalgia, whether you played it as a kid at Discovery Zone or Fantasyland or now as an adult at David Buster's, who doesn't love skee ball? And now it's time for Center Court Skee Ball presented by Centerfield Bank. Here's how it works. Today I'm with my main man Drew, who won up 3 rolls of the basketball off the ramp to score as many points as he can. The contestant with the most points throughout the season will have an opportunity to come back during
No, we didn't get a sweatsuit or anything this year. We'll have to bring that up.
I think that was Ed's doing.
Yeah?
All right, Friar Town, let's make some noise for Drew. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's make some noise for him. Come on. Close, close. Here we go. Last one, Drew. Make it count. Great try, Drew. Great try. And that was Center Court Skee Ball presented by Centerfield Bank.
John and Joe back inside the amp. Friars scoreless in the last 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Have hit just one of their last 7 shots from the floor and trail Seton Hall 24-22.
And not getting any second shot opportunities either, John. They only have 1 offensive rebound on a total of 17 rebounds. So Seton Hall doing a good job of boxing out and keeping the Friars off the offensive glass. But the offensive efficiency for the Friars is really broken down. They went up 17-10, and the offense just went into a funk after that. The defense hasn't been bad. I mean, Seton Hall's shooting just 33% from the floor. They're 10 for 30. Friars are just 9 for 21 right now at 43%. They were up over 50 for most of the half, but the zone has bothered. It's been a matchup zone where Seton Hall gets out on the perimeter and dares the Friars to do some penetration, and then they collapse inside. The Friars haven't been able to get anything solved that to get a good look. They just turned the ball over too much. They have 8 turnovers here in the first half.
Seton Hall has scored 7 points off of those 8 turnovers. That right now is the reason why they got the game. They've outscored the Friars 7-2 off the turnovers. The Friars also struggling without Josh Oduro. He's 6 for 9 from the floor. The rest of the team, Joe, 3 for 12.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get somebody else involved offensively for sure out there. The Friars only have 4 guys who have scored. You just mentioned, John. I mean, and everybody 3 points for Hopkins, 2 for Gaines, and 3 for Carter.
You've got Corey Floyd and Garway Duval have checked back in. Gaines, Oduro, and Carter are in there. Elijah Hutchins Everett is back into the game in the middle, replacing Jaden Bediako for Seton Hall.
The Friars need an offensive spurt here. 3:24 to go here in the first half. Need to get something going on the offensive end.
Duval has it at the point, brings it into the forecourt, and Seton Hall will stay on that 2-3 matchup. Right side, Duval penetrates, has Carter on the right sideline, looks to the interior, not there. Back out front now for Duval. Duval looks for a high screen, rolls to the right of that, pushes back left for Floyd. Thought about that deep 3, doesn't get the open look. Back to Duval, top of the key with 8 to shoot. Duval crosses over, gets into the lane, steps back, leans in, puts it up, got the shot blocked Carter with the rebound with 2, with 1 at the buzzer. Can't get it, skims off the rim, and the rebound on the left side for Davis.
Friars really struggling against that zone. I'm able to get a good look. Very rarely you see a shot clock go off on the Friars.
Davis, right side for Wusu. Dylan Adewusu, back to Davis, comes left for Richmond. Richmond now has Carter guarding him. High screen, crosses to the right, stops, free throw line jumper, up and in.
Well, that's his range right there. He gets in the paint. That's where he's most effective.
That's 11 now for Kadari Richmond of the 26 for Seton Hall. And the Pirates have now a 4-point lead. Here's Carter, open 3, right side off the back iron, no good. Davis with the rebound. And all of a sudden, it has dried up completely for the Friars on the offensive end. Here's Richmond between the circles. Works his way right. Switches places with Wusu. Now Wusu takes the ball on the right sideline up front now for Everett. Comes left for Richmond. Richmond feeds the post for Davis. Mismatch there with Gaines. Turns around with a fadeaway. Short, can't get it. Carter rebound.
Now you got to push. Got to beat the zone down the floor. Get a fast break.
And Carter angles through to the right side in front of Shaheen Holloway. Feeds the post for Oduro. He drives on Everett into the post. Works to the left side. Goes around with the right hand off the glass. No good. Short. And Everett with the rebound.
Well, Oduro cooling off a little bit. That was a good move right there. Just couldn't make the shot.
Richmond crosses over on Carter. Uses his screen. Gets in the lane. Leans in. Throws it up over his head. Can't get it. And that time Floyd clears the rebound. Corey now pushes with the dribble and the drive into the forecourt. Kicks the ball back to the center. Pushes for Carter. Stops. Pops for 3. Can't get it. Skims off the rim and goes out of bounds. Bryce Hopkins back into the game. 1:14 left. Providence has not scored in 6 minutes and 42 seconds.
That's unusual. This Friar team has some offensive power out there, just not able to make shots on it. They're not taking good shots now, too. The last 4 or 5 possessions have been bad shots.
Seton Hall's defense has been problematic. We'll give them credit. Here's Davis, comes to the left wing for Alamir Dawes. Dawes has Duval guarding him, shakes free, comes to the left side, feeds the post for Davis, drives around Hopkins, blocked by Bryce, picked up by Floyd. Floyd into the right side, gets into the forecourt. Dawes on him defensively, scoop and a hoop, and a reverse for Corey Floyd.
What a great move by Corey Floyd. Great speed down the floor, beat that defense down the floor.
First basket for Floyd in the game. That brought a little life to the arena with 42 seconds left. 2-point game. Seton Hall with the basketball between the circles. Richmond leaves it off for Adewusu. Now Everett on the high post. Couple of dribbles toward the left side. Hands off for Dawes. Dawes tries to get through the defenders with 8 to shoot.
He wants to shoot a 3.
He wants to shoot. He's going to step back and fire the 3. No, in and out. Rebound popped up, and there's a foul on the floor called on number 4. Is that Hutchins Everett or is it on
No,
Duval?
Duval. They're going to call it on Duval, trying to box out right there.
Oh, my. And that is 2 fouls on Garway Duval. That's team foul 4 on the Friars. And so Seton Hall will keep the ball with 23 seconds left in the half. They've got a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Jaden Pierre is going to come into the game. That could have been called either way, really.
Oh, yeah. Well, they called it on the smaller guy trying to box out the bigger guy. Usually they call it against the bigger guy.
So a 30-second timeout. Use it or lose it here for Kim English and the Friars, with 23 seconds to play in the half, and Seton Hall by 2.
Well, Friars finally got a score. Good play there by Corey Floyd on the fast break. Got the rebound, took it the length of the court down the right-hand side and used a reverse layup to avoid the block shot and makes the score. It's nice to see him make a shot. They need the ball go through the hoop for him because he's been working hard every day trying to get his offense going. He's been struggling offensively. But you make that first shot sometimes and the offense starts to click in.
Well, let's see what they can call up here. There's just 3 seconds difference between the clock. And Seton Hall with a 26-24 lead. Friars had command of this one with 19-10 Providence with 11:51 to go in the half. And Providence has scored 5 points in the last 11 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, Seton Hall just went to zone. They couldn't guard the Friars man-to-man, so they went to zone. Nobody had an answer for Oduro. They went to zone, and the Friars took a little bit more time than they needed to get into the offense, and they had to rush some shots against that zone, but I'm sure they'll adjust that at halftime.
Richmond will inbound for the baseline, left of the basket, 20 to shoot, throws it out on the perimeter for Dre Davis. Davis, content to let some clock go down, finds Dawes out in the center circle, back to Richmond.
Friars are in the zone themselves right now.
Yep, 2-3.
We haven't seen that much all year.
1-2-2, 1-3-1 almost. Here's Richmond, comes off the screen, kicks it off left corner. Wusu gets off a three and hits it for Seton Hall.
He shoots 30% from three.
Dylan Wusu gets it to go. Pierre, three-quarter court shot, almost goes in, but it does not. And Seton Hall takes a 5-point lead into the locker room on 23rd ranked Providence at 29-24.
Good job by Seton Hall staying in this game, John. They looked like they were dead to right out there. The Friars had complete control, as you mentioned, 19-10. The offense was flying along. Then they went to substitutions and things started to bog down. The rhythm went out of the game, and boom, Seton Hall took advantage.
That is a 19-5 run for Seton Hall over the last 11 minutes and 51 seconds of the first half.
You don't see that all year against the Friars. Their defense has been good. Nobody's had that much of a run on them, 19-5, but Seton Hall's able to get it done in this first half so far.
Austin Rooke joins us for a halftime update coming up from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Hey, Brett, what do you have for highlights? I know there weren't very many. That's fine. Can we do in that order? Okay, awesome. Okay. Here are these for you. I got it. Yep. First time trailing at the half at home. Right? Yeah. I would zone this team all year. I don't know why more teams haven't done it. Janney Montgomery Scott helps clients connect their life and their finances. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Just heard from Bryce Hopkins. Just had that one field goal in the first half, just 3 points, 0 of 2 from downtown for the Friars' second leading scorer in Bryce Hopkins. Austin Rooke with you here at the half. It is the first time that the Friars have trailed at home this season. It's 29-24 in favor of the visitors, the Seton Hall Pirates. Friars were led in that first half by 14 points from Josh Oduro. Imagine what this would look like without him. 6 of 10 from the field, including this bucket halfway through the first half.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
That is certainly true. No one could guard Josh Oduro in the first part of that first half. He has missed his last 4 shots from the field, though. Finished 6 of 10 for 14 points in that first half. Friars just 1 of 9 from 3 in that first half. Devin Carter is the one who hit that 1-3 from the right wing.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Great shot. Give it up one more time for your halftime entertainment. The Foxborough 6th grade boys.
That Carter 3 pretty much was it offensively for the Friars in that first half over the last 11 minutes of the half, including a 15-2 run for Seton Hall over the final 8 minutes of that first half, has us 29-24 in favor of the Seton Hall Pirates. Back with more in a moment across the Big East. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Corporate sponsors: 110 Grill, Atwell's Brew, Automated Business Solutions, Balanced Wealth Management, Bank Newport, Casarino's Restaurant, Dave's Marketplace, Duffy and Sweeney, Finetco, The Graduate, Hanoush Jewelers, Horizon Beverage, Hot Potato Food Truck, Marco, Janie, Local 51, Midland Roofing, Milton Cat, New England Ford Dealers, New England Laborers, Providence College MBA Program, Raps Auto Parts, Rebath, Rhode Island Energy, Rhode Island Lottery, Rhode Island Restoration, Santander Bank, Soggy Hot Dogs, C Corp, WPRI Channel 12, Audi Warwick, LaSalle Bakery, Rhode Island Medical Imaging, Quality Productions, Capital Grill, High New, Coca.
Friar fans, we need your help to ice the shooter during the second half. In the second half, if the opposing team misses 2 consecutive free throws, everyone in the building will receive a Dunkin' gift card. Fans, please turn your attention to the video board for tonight's out-of-town scores presented by Jersey Mike's.
Hey, Brett, how much time left? Okay. Easily.
Explore, question, learn. I need to unite, to discover the truth that defines us.
Okay. You can say that, not me.
A purpose of passion, a legacy of distinction and faith, carried forward by those who dare to seek and discover. To start again and keep striving. those who seek more.
Hey, good luck trading for Belfast.
Yeah, thanks, you too.
That Corey Floyd bucket is only one of the first half. It broke up a 12-0 run for the Seton Hall Pirates toward the end of that first half. The Pirates with a 29-24 lead over the Friars here at the Amp. Austin Rooke back with you here at halftime. Let's take a trip around the Big East. 3 games in the conference last night. First, Connecticut, no real problems with the 3-10 now DePaul Blue Demons. 85-56 sans Donovan Clingan at Gamble Pavilion last night. Creighton with a slim 4-point advantage at the half against Georgetown. Well, they have no problems in the second half. They pull away and win 77-60 over Ed Cooley's Georgetown Hoyas, who are now 0-3 in Big East play. And finally, a big one between a couple of teams that are much improved. St. John's with an 86-70 win over the Butler Bulldogs, who pushed the Friars to the brink 10 days ago here in this building on December the 23rd, pushing them all the way to overtime, where the Friars were able to pull it away late thanks to Devin Carter, who, by the way, is Big East Player of the Week this week. 2-0 week for the Friars this past week, and Carter led them with 23 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 56% from the field, including 50%. That's 9 of 18 from 3. Had 22 points, 8 boards, and 4 dimes in the win here a couple of weeks ago now against Marquette, and had 24 points and scored 10 of the 16 overtime points in that game against Butler, the 85-75 win just 10 days ago. But the Friars need him and a whole host of others to contribute here in this second half. The Friars trailing it by 5, 29-24. Second half action coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
What's up, Tim? There you go, man. No, I don't need it. How you doing, big guy? Dude. You see, what's his name's here? Egan. Sitting right behind, he's not there right now, but he's sitting right behind it. Oh, okay. Sitting right there. Yeah, I controlled the game, then they went to the bench. The end of that. We'll be all right. See you, man. All right, we got to grind it out somehow here.
Yeah, no kidding.
We haven't been down at halftime too often this year either.
No, it's just the fourth time they've been down.
You always worry about shooting percentages when you have those long layoffs. Both teams sucked. I mean, 33 and 37. Carter 1 for 7, Hopkins 1 for 4. They were 2 for 11 between the two of them.
Yeah.
And get some Pierre some shots, man. Pierre was what, 0 for 2?
Yeah. John and Joe back inside the amp. Just a few seconds away before the second half tip. Friars just 24 points in the first half. It's their lowest first half total of the season. 24, down by 5. It's also just the fourth time that they've trailed a game at halftime this year. They're 1-2 when they're trailing at halftime.
You know, I looked at that halftime score. I said, man, I don't remember seeing one that low this year. And, you know, they usually have a pretty good focus on their offense. They don't have a problem scoring, but in this half there, they had a tough time putting the ball in the hole. And I think the zone bothered them a little bit. It did. Seton Hall slowed them down a little bit. Friars have to find Gaines. I mean, when you see a zone like that, you find your best shooter. Gaines only took 2 shots in the first half. And Jaden Pierre, who's one of their top 3-point shooters, maybe you put Gaines in one corner and Pierre in the other corner and try to get some penetration and find those guys in the corner, knock down some threes.
Also thought that the Friars really lost a lot of rhythm, Joe, when they were up 19-10. Coach English makes substitutions to get guys start working into the game, and everything just went flat from that point.
You're exactly right. We mentioned that earlier. I just think that when he went to the bench, you know, he had Carter and Hopkins out together, and the Friars were struggling offensively trying to figure out the zone, and Seton Hall took advantage of it. Seton Hall was dead in the water, down 19-10. They were up 8-2 and just couldn't get anything going themselves. The Friars were on a 15-2 run to get to that point, and then just turned it right around Seton Hall.
Friars have the ball to start the second half. Work basket to our left. Here's penetration by Pierre. Gets into the lane. Looks for a wraparound. Finds Oduro, who bobbles it. They go to the floor with him on the ball. He's got it on the right box. And they're going to call a held ball, and it belongs to Seton Hall because the Friars just put it in play.
That was a good move by Pierre, but he should finish by shooting the ball. He had his man beat by the Big East sign there underneath the foul line. Elevate and take the jump shot.
Seton Hall's defense has been effective, to say the least. Here's Alamir Dawes into the forecourt to our right here in the second half. Bounce pass underneath for Wusu. It gets out of bounds away from him, and a turnover for the Pirates.
Friars got to keep that defense solid, but now they got to get the offense going here. We'll see if Seton Hall comes back in that zone again or if they start off man-to-man.
6 turnovers for the Pirates. Here come the Friars again. Basket to our left on the radio. Up high with it is Carter. Carter dribbles to the left. Finds Hopkins off the top of the key to the right. Bounces there for Oduro. He's got Bediako playing behind him. Turns and phases him. Spins into the lane. Backs his way down. Goes up, and he gets fouled. That's 3 on Bediako.
Well, Seton Hall comes out in the man-to-man. Friars right away isolate him. They had Pierre in the corner. That's what you want to do against the zone now. Throw the ball inside to Oduro, so they're going to double-team him. Maybe you get Pierre for a 3. But that time there, they saw it. They cleared Pierre out of the corner, so Oduro could work one-on-one against his man. He picks up the foul.
Elijah Hutchins-Hefford comes right in onto the game off of the bench. As Bediako picks up his 3rd. Inbounds in the right corner for Oduro. Hopkins at the foul line, going to drive on Davis. He spins, goes up and under, banks it up, won't get it to go, and the rebound taken by Wusu. All kinds of contact. He just didn't get the benefit of the doubt on the call.
He's got to go straight up, though. He's fading away a little bit. When you fade away, they don't give you the call.
Here's Dawes with it on the left wing. Up top now for Richmond between the circles. Picked up there by Gaines. Dawes drives to the left on Carter. So a little bit of a switch in defensive assignments here for the Friars. Dawes drives on Carter all the way through. Leaves it up for Davis. It's stolen. Hopkins picks it up. Hopkins on the break. 1-on-2. Attacks the rim. Lays it up, missed it, gets his own rebound, and then gets hacked in the act on the way back up.
Boy, Pops just feels so bad for Hopkins. He just can't finish. Can't make shots. He's doing everything correct. He just can't put the ball in the hole. That was a heck of a move. He should have dunked that when he was above the rim. He tried to lay it up softly and missed the shot. He needs to make a couple of free throws here, get his confidence. He's going to see the ball go through the hoop.
Davis gets called for the foul, his 2nd, team 2nd. Hopkins just 3 points in the first half, did have 7 rebounds. And the free throw here is good for Bryce. 2 of 3 from the foul line.
Sometimes you get those free throws to go, and then you just feel like you got a rhythm and get that offense going, because when he gets out on the break, he's a very difficult guy to guard.
Second shot for Bryce is good. Got them both. Friars strike first for the second half, trailed by 3. Wusu with it in the backcourt, picked up by Ticket Gaines. Has it on the right side, across the mid-floor line. Friars in a man. Wusu works to the left. Bounce pass there for Davis. Feed inside, goes underneath. Layup is short and a foul.
Well, Carter went for the steal right there, and that put Oduro in harm's way. And Oduro picks up the foul on Richmond. If you can't go for the steal that close to the basket, because if you do, you better get it. Otherwise, something bad's going to happen. That's what happened there. The worst thing about that one, they stopped the shot, but you get Oduro with the second foul. He can have all the shots he wants, because I'd rather have Oduro without the foul.
And Richmond goes to the line to shoot 2 here. As you said, second foul on Oduro as Richmond hits the first free throw. On the season, he's a 78% foul shooter. He's at 1 of 2. That's his 12th point of the night to lead the Pirates.
This guy's a very difficult matchup. You know, he's 78 from the line, and he's not a good shooter. He came in 2 for 19 from 3.
That second shot, no good. Off the back iron, Carter with a rebound. Friars down 4, 18-22 to go here in the second half. Carter into the forecourt, right side. Pierre dumps it back to Devin. Now Carter cuts to the right, finds Jaden, right side on the sideline for Hopkins. He shows it, he drives it, has it knocked away out of bounds from behind.
Richmond got it on him. I mean, Hopkins had a dunk right there if he didn't get the ball slapped out of there. Good move by Hopkins again, but good defense by Richmond.
Friars will inbound from the baseline. Pierre looks for the inbound. He'll lob it out to Oduro near the top of the key. He scoots to the right, slides down the lane, spins in between the double team, puts it up too strong, can't get it. Wusu with the rebound. 1 and done for the Friars right now. Not getting any help on the offensive glass. Wusu feeds the post for Davis. Davis wants to back his way in on Hopkins instead, pulls it out. Now retreats, come back, steps back, fires the deuce, and gets it.
He's a good shooter, Davis. What you got to do, though, is you got to have Hopkins with the ball and take it to the basket on him, make him play defense.
That's 10 for Dre Davis, 32-26. Seton all by 6. That matches their largest lead of the ball game they had early at 8-2. Hopkins feeds Oduro, wants to spin inside. He goes up on Hutchins and scores and one.
Oduro can foul out every big guy on this Seton Hall team if they just get him the ball at the right spots. He got the right spot that time. No help defense. Friars were moving. When the ball went into Oduro there, John, everybody was cutting, so the defense couldn't help out. You had to watch where your man was. When your man stands still, you have an opportunity to double team.
That's the secret. Everybody cutting when he's got the ball.
Yeah, because he's a good passer. I would cut because if you pass and they go double team him,
right,
Oduro will find you with the pass.
Friars had missed 5 straight shots before that hoop by Oduro. Now he's got a chance to complete the three-point play, and the free throw is good. That's 17 for Oduro. He's got 17 of the 29 points the Friars have scored. And they're back within 3 at 32-29, 17-28 in the second half. Dawes has it in the backcourt for Seton Hall. Will bring it up against Jaden Pierre. Middle of the floor for Davis. Davis slides his way down close on Hopkins. Down into the post, spins back outside of the foul line. Stops, dumps it out for Dawes. Dawes jab steps on Pierre, drives to the left, goes down into the post. Kicks the ball out, almost stolen, but Richmond grabs it at the top of the key.
Back up on him.
6 to shoot. Richmond drives to the right, inside, leans in, backs it up, draws the foul.
See, that's the weakest ref they have on this crew right there.
Clarence Armstrong.
He's horrendous. That was good D by Carter. He went straight up on that one.
Carter gets called for his first foul of the game. That's 2 on the Friars in the half.
That's the same move that Hopkins makes to the basket, and he doesn't get the call. So if you're gonna call it for Richmond, you got to call it for Hopkins.
Richmond at the line for 2. First one rattles and stays. He's got 13. He had 13 points and 8 rebounds in their loss 10 days ago to Xavier. But he had 23, a season high in their win over 5th-ranked UConn back on the 20th of December. Second shot is good. And the Pirates are back up by 5 as we dip under 17 minutes to play.
Here comes the zone again now.
Yep, in that 2-3 zone. Here's Pierre, has it out front against Wusu. They kind of match up out front. Let's see where they go with it as Pierre takes the dribble to the right side. Wide side of the floor. Now back to Carter. Back out to Pierre. Hopkins comes left to grab it with 12 to shoot. He fakes, gets into the lane. Kicks the ball back out to Pierre, who loses the dribble. Down to 6, down to 5. Pierre goes between the legs, drives inside, loses the ball out of bounds. Seton Hall ball.
Shoot the ball, Jaden. I mean, they all do the crossover dribble and stuff. Just shake the guy off and take the shot. You have the 5 on the shot clock. You got to shoot it.
That's 10 turnovers for the Friars in the ballgame.
Man, you love to have the ball at the end of a shot clock. You got a license to shoot. Shoot it.
Richmond to Dawes, top of the key now for Hutchins Everett. Everett dumps it off for Richmond outside the three-point stripe. Dawes has it top of the key, feeds the post. Everett backs his way in on Oduro, tries to up fake. Got it blocked by Oduro, picks it back up, muscles his way underneath, goes up and what? Travel.
About time. I mean, it looked like a Brahma bull out there. It looked like rugby underneath the basket.
Traveling on Elijah Hutchins Everett. Friars get it on the Seton Hall turnover. It's their 8th of the game. Here's Pierre into the forecourt to the left side, comes off the screen, moves back to the right, far side of the floor, forecourt to our left. Now on the sideline for Gaines, who's been very quiet tonight. Hopkins drives down into the post left, slides through underneath, goes up, lost the ball again. Seton Hall's defense has just been locked on Bryce Hopkins. Richmond crosses over, drives, jab steps, kicks it off, left corner, Davis for three. Got it.
You got to get out on him. You don't want to play the other guys, but you got to get out on Davis. He can shoot.
He's got 13, his second made three. And Seton Hall has their largest lead of the game at 8 with 15:24 to play. Right wing. Carter feeds Oduro, wants to back his way in on Everett. Backs his way into the lane, goes up with a turnaround fadeaway. Short, can't get it. Richmond deep pass into the forecourt. Dawes is there. Scoots through to the left wing, fires off a three, can't get it. Rebound for Hopkins. Jump pass into the forecourt. He finds Carter with a scoop and a score.
That's when you want to get an easy one right there to get when somebody's down. Hopkins is down grabbing his knee.
Oh, no. Hopkins is down in the center floor circle, and he is clutching his left knee. Oh, my goodness. This is not good.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either. I'm not sure what happened on the play, but he is down.
He's howling out there, too.
Oh, my goodness. 14:59 remaining in the second half, and this is not good. I wish there was a better way that we could paint this, but the entire arena is completely silent.
Hopkins never stays down, man. He gets pops right up every time, but he's wincing out there, and he's making.
The officials have actually come over to make sure there wasn't a flagrant, but we were watching the ball, so we didn't see it happen in the backcourt because he's actually in the backcourt a little bit to our right, just outside the mid-floor circle, where the Friar training staff and head coach Kim English have.
I think he just was off balance when he threw the pass, and he landed funny on his knee.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is unfortunate. All right, so we've got an official's timeout on the floor here. So we're going to take the timeout, and then we're going to come back. 14:59 to go. The Friars are down 37-31, and Bryce Hopkins is down on the floor. We'll try to provide an update coming up from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. His left leg. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
On the video next to me, he tweaked it.
Twisted it, throwing the pass.
What was it?
He twisted it, throwing the pass.
Tweaked it, throwing the pass on the video next to me.
So he landed on it crooked? Oh. He's trying to put weight on it.
Yeah. Things out of place.
Yeah, he's in pain, man. He's almost crying. He's crying.
Yep.
Yeah, he knows it's not good.
Yep. I'm going to go in the locker room. Oh, my God.
Go, Castro!
Man, no. Man, they're lean underneath anyway. Now you really got a problem.
John and Joe back at the amp. Bryce Hopkins is helped off the floor by Friar trainer Chris Hageman, not putting any weight on his left knee. He went up with a pass, I believe it was, and came down
Yeah, he twisted
awkwardly.
It
He
when he came down.
twisted his left knee.
You know, he was crying when he went. He must have had something. I don't want to speculate, but I mean, he's a great kid. And then when he gets banged around all the time, and he jumps right up. He doesn't stay down there and then come running back on the floor after he's going to the locker room. Hopefully he's okay. I just, you know,
He's gone into the locker room, as you said. And if we get any updates, we'll pass them along for sure. It just didn't look very good at all. Friars down 6 with 14:59 to go. And they brought Garway Dual into the game to replace Hopkins. Seton Hall with the basketball. Now the Friars got to figure out a way to pick up the slack. Richmond with the ball at the top of the key. Hands off for Dawes. Dawes around the circle to the right side. Hands off for Wusu. Wusu leaves it back off for Richmond. Richmond going to penetrate on Carter. Wants to take him on the body into the lane. Turns around with a jump hook. Can't get it. Pierre with a rebound.
good D there by Carter. Get right on his shooting hand.
Here's Jaden Pierre with the ball into the forecourt. Stops. Kicks off into the right corner. Now a quick pass to Odura, who up fakes, put it up short. Can't finish it. And Richmond grabs the rebound. And then Richmond has it knocked away and stolen by Carter from behind. Long pass into the forecourt. Dual comes down with it and goes out of bounds with it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
You know, you have 10 days off. You ask me what's going to work. Here it is right here. You talk about rhythm in the game. I mean, offensively, the Friars are way out of whack, and Seton Hall's not much better.
Yeah, but Seton Hall right now has hit a few more shots, and that's the difference in this game. The Friars giving them more chances, too, with the turnovers. Richmond finds Wusu on the left sideline against Dual. Feed into the post there for Davis. Davis goes up with a jumper short. Rebound Carter on the outside. That time Gaines got up on Dre Davis.
Well, Gaines is 6'6". He can bother you on the defensive end.
Carter finds Gaines outside the three-point stripe. Pulls it out. Finds Carter again back to the left toward the top of the key. Richmond's going to pick up Carter here defensively. Down to 14 to shoot. Richmond comes up tight on him. Spins to the left. Got it tipped away from behind. But Dual picks it up with 8 to shoot. Now Dual top of the key with it on Wusu. Steps back out with 4, with 3. Odura with 2. Fires the 3. Bounces no. And Wusu rebounds.
Friars is taking too much time to get started in their offense.
It looks like they're just unsure what to do.
They're trying to get the ball into Oduro, but got to get other guys involved maybe.
Richmond, Dawes, left side for Wusu on the sideline, backs it out again. Now Wusu reverses, gets into the lane, stops, leans in, lays it up, scores.
That's Odusu. That's what he does. Gets to the basket, uses that physical play.
Like a bowl in a china shop. He's got 8 points, and it's 39-31. Pirates by 8. This matches their largest lead of the ball game with 12:55 to play. Dual has it off the top of the key. Stops, kicks it left for Gaines in front of head coach Kim English. He's going to go up with a jumper. Got it blocked. Gets it back with 12 to shoot. Back out to Dual, who fakes. Who drives, steps back. He's going to fire off the 3. Got it!
Well, that's a big hoop there by Galway. Friars are struggling offensively. Seton Hall's defense is taking a lot away, but Friars need to pick it up now on the defensive end.
Dual just 4 for his last 30 from the floor. And he cans that 3 to pull them back within 5. Richmond, top of the key, high screen set by Everett. Low to the floor, drives, pulls up, jumper, free throw line, banks it in. He's got 16 for Seton Hall. Back up by 7 at 41-34. 12:09 on the clock. Dual finds Carter. He's going to launch a deep 3. Got it!
Right back at you. Carter says, hey, you're going to go at me. I'm going at you. Carter taking a chance now. He's talking too.
8 points for Carter. And Carter and Richmond having a nice conversation out on the floor. Davis goes left for Wusu. Wusu comes right for Everett. Everett out on the high post. Holds onto the ball. Now finds Richmond at the top of the key against Carter. Goes left again for Wusu. Drives to the left side. Back out front for Davis. 7 to shoot. A whistle and a reach-in foul. And it's called on Garway Dual. Third foul on Dual. Third team foul on Providence with 11:39 to play. And we're going to time out on the floor. It's Seton Hall 41, Providence 37. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Let's go, Friar Town.
Good.
Oh boy, is right. think we just saw our season flash before our eyes.
Well, he gives you so much out there. I mean, even when he's not shooting, he plays defense, he rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he guards opposing center, power forward, small forward.
Let's go right down. In West Philadelphia.
The New England Laborers are training the workforce of today that will build tomorrow with state-of-the-art training academies throughout New England. You'll be equipped with the construction skills, knowledge, and experience to start your career in a better tomorrow. LIUNA, feel the power.
Well, some stats here. Friars just 4 for 12 here in the second half at 33%. Though 2 for 4 though from three-point range. Seton Hall 4 for 8, 50% from the floor in the second half. 1 for 2 from three-point range. Both have 27 rebounds in the ball game. 7 offensive rebounds for Seton Hall, 4 for the Friars. But the story of this second half is Bryce Hopkins went down with looks like could be a real serious injury. And the Friars now have to find a way without him out there to try to speed up the game a little bit and get the ball into Oduro. Because Hopkins gives you so much on the floor, Johnny. You know, when he's struggling shooting, but he gets 8 rebounds in the ball game, and he plays the opposition's backup center. He plays the small forward. He plays the power forward. I mean, he gives you so many different versatility positions, and not being in the game now, Friars are light on the backside, but they need to find a way to get it done speed and quickness-wise.
We saw a replay of what happened to Hopkins, and he's making a pass in the backcourt, but it looked like he ran in and clipped the heels of the Seton Hall defender behind him and came down awkwardly on his left leg.
Yeah, he grabbed his knee right away. Hopefully it's just a strain and nothing was torn or popped in there for him.
Seton Hall with the basketball. They'll inbound for the baseline, left of the basket, 20 to shoot in the left corner. Dawes for 3, bang.
Yeah, they're making shots, Seton Hall. Dawes,
that's their,
and Davis are good shooters from the outside.
Second made 3 of the half, first one of the ball game for Alamir Dawes, and just like that, they're back up by 7 after Friars had closed within 4. Floyd on the left wing, drives right, has Gaines out on the perimeter. Gaines kicks it off on the right side for Pierre. Now Pierre gets free, scoots to the left wing, finds Corey with 6 to shoot. Floyd now comes around the circle to the right, gets into the lane, turn around with a fadeaway, off the rim, goes in.
Good shot there by Corey Floyd. They needed that hoop.
Sure did. His second basket of the game.
It's an important part of the game too, John. With Castro in there playing center, the Friars need to hold the fort.
Top of the key with it. Davis bounces left for Dawes. Friars stay in a man defense. There's a lob for Richmond now has Carter playing behind him. Works his way in. Offensive foul called on Richmond as Carter took the foul.
Good job by Carter. He baited the official in that one. Richmond trying to blow him over. Richmond coming down talking trash 2 minutes ago about when he scored. He's just like, yeah, this is easy. And Carter said, no, it's not going to be. And they've been going at it pretty good, those two.
Second personal on Richmond, 4th team foul.
They took Richmond off Carter. They got Diawusu on him now.
Here's Pierre with it. Bounce pass, top of the key. Wusu on Carter. Carter has it at the top of the key. Drives on Wusu. Gets down, banks it up. Won't get it. Rebound tap. As Castro has it, and Castro gets fouled.
Good job by Castro battling in there.
And it's on Richmond. No, check that. It's on Wusu. That's his second, team's 5th.
Wusu's physical in there. That's the way he played at St. John's. He likes to throw his body around. Good job by Castro staying in the mix there. He's got to be able to grab the ball, or his hands sometimes it goes through. As long as he's in there battling on the glass, maybe somebody else can get the rebound.
Friars will inbound for the baseline. 20 to shoot. Pierre inbounds to Gaines in the corner, and he stepped out of bounds right in front of the Friar bench. Oh, my goodness. Unforced errors. Killers. 12th turnover of the ball game. Hall ball, 5-point lead, 10-20 on the clock. Richmond, top of the key with it. Carter's there, waiting on him. Bounce pass right for Wusu. High post for Everett. Everett turns, hands off, Dawes. Started there by Castro, crosses over on him, steps back, cuts back to the left, leans in, kicks the ball back outside for Richmond. Richmond thought about the 3 with 5 to shoot, penetrates, fadeaway jumper, no, rebound Carter.
Good D by Connor, and rebound by Floyd.
Yep, you're right. And Floyd now has it at the foul line. Pierre to the right side for Gaines, can't get the shot off, penetrates, back out front for Floyd. Now for Pierre. Pierre goes and throws it away.
Shoot the ball.
And the ball gets kicked off the leg of Davis and picked up by Pierre.
Pierre's a 44% three-point shooter, and he's passing up shots. Shoot the ball.
Pierre passed it up the last time. Now Jaden has
There
the
you go.
basketball.
Shoot it.
He's going to up for 3 and banks it in.
Who cares? Shoot the ball. You're open. Take the shot.
First basket of the game for Jaden Pierre. 9:23 to go. The Friars are back within 2. Davis lobs left side for Wusu. Wusu gets around Corey Floyd, backs it out, picked up there by Gaines. Now Wusu near the mid-floor line, cuts back to the left, cuts back to the right to the top of the key, 9 to shoot, looks to penetrate, drives down the right side, steps in, put it up, fouled.
Block and foul on Gaines.
Gaines called for the block. And they're going to give Wusu 2 shots at the line.
You see, they went against what they've been doing with Wusu. They've been going underneath the screen. They went over the top, let him get to the basket. You want him to take the outside shot. He doesn't want to take the outside shot. He made 2 threes in the game, but that's not his comfort zone. He wants to shoot going to the basket. He's going to give him 2 shots.
You have Gaines called for his first personal. That's the 4th on the team. And Wusu will get 2 shots at the free throw line. He obviously tell the fans didn't like the call. Wusu on the season just a 61% free throw shooter. These were his first shots of the night, and he rolls the first one in. Here comes Rich Barron into the game. Friars could use a little help from the outside.
Well, they're going to give Carter a rest here, as Richmond's going to come out as well.
Coleman, Isaiah Coleman, 6'5 freshman, into the game for Seton Hall as well. And Dylan Adewusu, transferred from St. John's, senior out of the Bronx. 8 points per game, hits the second one. And he's got 10 now for the Pirates, who go back up by 4 with 9:04 on the clock. Pierre has it in the backcourt. Picked up by Alamir Dawes. Mid-floor circle, works his way to the right. Onto the wing there for Floyd. Corey tries to shake off Davis, goes down low, and
That's
gets
a
foul
foul
on his way to the hoop.
Good move there by Corey Floyd. I mean, he can finish at the rim. Corey's going to play with a little confidence now. I know he's going to have to play well with Hopkins being out. He's going to get the minutes. Play with aggression. Don't play to make mistakes. Go out there and play to score, play your game. And when he gets to the basket, he's very difficult to guard.
That's 4 fouls on Elijah Hutchins Everett. So he's got 4. On the bench, Jaden Bediako has 3. And here's Corey Floyd at the foul line. He's just 4 for 7 from the line on the season. And make it 4 out of 8. He missed the first one. And into the game, Jaquan Sanders, a 6'4 sophomore, for the first time tonight for Seton Hall. And Bediako has also returned to the lineup with 3 fouls. So Corey, who averages just under 4 points per game, has 4 in this one. His second shot is good. He gets 1 of the 2. And the Friars are down 3 with 8:48 on the clock. Here's Dawes into the forecourt, a handoff for Davis. He leaves to the left for Sanders. Now Sanders to Dawes, fakes the 3, drives to the right, gets in the lane, running jumper up. No, can't get it. Bediako, offensive rebound, kicks it back out for Dawes.
The Friars had to get those rebounds in there. They're small right now.
And Oduro's getting ready to come right back into the game. Dawes drives to the right, stops short, throws up the floater, can't get it. Rebound underneath for Barron. Here comes Pierre into the forecourt in transition, goes right to the hoop, reverse scoop, can't get it, and it's out of bounds off of Seton Hall.
Good job by Castro right there, staying on the glass, following that play up. He couldn't catch it himself, but he knocked it off the Seton Hall player out of bounds. Friars get to keep it, new 20 on the shot clock.
Oduro back in, Castro out, 8:15 to go. Friars down 3. Seton Hall's led by as much as 8 here in the second half. Friars led by as much as 9 in the first half. Pierre looks for the inbounds. Oduro has it, comes down with it in the middle of the lane, backs his way in on Bediako, up fakes, puts it up. Oh, and they're going for a double dribble.
Well, he dropped the ball. He had the position right there. He had Bediako underneath the basket.
He's got to go up for the shot.
Just lay it up there.
I don't understand some of the hesitation out on the floor. By
Well,
these
you got
guys.
to, he's trying to pump fake, but Diaco's not going to get off the ground very often.
No. Plus, with 3 fouls, he's not going to take a chance on that. Bounce pass to Coleman on the right side with us. We dip under 8 minutes to play. Into the post for Davis. It goes out of bounds. That's a turnover for Seton Hall. And we get a timeout on the floor. 7:57 to go. It's Seton Hall 46 and Providence 43. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. Has anybody come out and said anything about Bryce at all?
It can't be good, man. No, nobody's come out.
Today's contestant is Addison. Everybody take a look at the video board and let's play along.
I doubt they'd say anything tonight anyway. Probably go for an MRI tomorrow, right? Oh, Jesus.
Love that stuff, like a milkshake.
Stuff gives you gas.
Doesn't give me any gas.
I've been smelling all these strawberry farts. What are you talking about?
You got issues. You're smelling strawberry farts. 42 grams of protein, man. When you get old like me, you need protein.
Yeah, I know.
We got to get the lead in this game.
I know.
Man.
Milton Cat, your Caterpillar equipment dealer for the Northeast, is a proud sponsor of Providence College Athletics. John and Joe at the AMP. 7:57 to go. Friars back within 3.
Well, some stats here. Friars 6 for 16 in the second half, 37%. Seton Hall 5 for 12 at 41%. Seton Hall 2 for 3 though from 3-point range in the second half. Friars 3 for 5. One of those a bank shot by Jaden Pierre. I want him to shoot more, John. Yell at him to shoot. He's only taken 1 shot in the game. You know, he's one of the best shooters from the outside. He's got to, if you open, take the shot, especially now with Hopkins out of the ball game with that injury. You got other guys have to step up and start supplying some offense for this Friar team. Friars need to get some Josh Zaduro going. I mean, he started off the game 6 for 6. He's 7 for 15 for the ball game. So he just cooled off a lot here in the second half. But he's getting position in there. As long as the Seton Hall team plays man-to-man, everything's got to go through Josh Zaduro right now in the half-court set. I'm surprised Seton Hall hasn't gone to the zone in the second half. I mean, they took the lead in the first half by 5 by going to the zone against the Friars.
They turned a 9-point deficit into a 5-point halftime lead. 5-point halftime lead because of going to that matchup zone.
Yeah, I mean, the rhythm of the Friars really was out of whack. But Friars now, if go to zone, I'm sure they made adjustments in the second half here. If you play against that Seton Hall zone, you get Gaines in the corner where he's very adept at making 3-pointers. And Pierre's got to look at that outside shot as well. But they're going to go man-to-man, look for Carter to get in the ball game, go to the basket. And Corey Floyd, who's 2 for 2 in the game in 11 minutes, he can get to that basket.
Friars have the basketball, could tie on this possession with 7:57 to go. Rich Barron inbounds it to Jaden Pierre in the backcourt to our right.
And he gives Barron for a shot as well. He's a good shooter from the outside.
Now here's Pierre into the forecourt, picked up by Wusu, comes to the left wing, gives the ball back to Badura on the pie, stops straddling the 3-point line. Floyd curls to the left, now finds Oduro, gets in the paint, backs his way in with the right hand, puts it up, can't get it, rebound pops up, and controlled by Coleman.
Oduro taking some crazy shots. I mean, he had his way in the first half. He had his man beat just to a wild one there.
Here's Richmond driving to the right. He's got Pierre on, and Pierre tries to push him off, bodies his way in, puts up the shot, and a foul is called on Pierre.
Yeah, that's a foul. He hit him with both arms. He hit him 3 times. The official kept letting it go. That's the 15th foul for the Friars.
First personal on Jaden with 7:24 left. Devin Carter now back into the game, replacing Rich Barron. And Seton Hall will inbound it. Baseline, right of the basket, 20 to shoot. Kadari Richmond looks for the inbound, flips it out front for Sanders. Now Sanders goes left. Wusu on the left sideline. Uses a screen set by Bediako. Gets down the lane, throws up the runner, off the rim, gets his own rebound, can't get that. And Oduro rips it away.
Yeah, Wusu, man, he's tough when he goes to the basket. He plays bigger than he is.
He had 2 shots at it. Here's Pierre coming off the screen. Has the ball knocked away from behind and fouled.
That's 17 fouls right there.
Yep. Wusu picks up his 3rd personal, and that is 7 with 7:04 to go. And the Friars will go to the line shooting a 1-and-1. It'll be Jaden Pierre.
Who's perfect on the year. Don't look at me like that.
Knock on wood, reverse whammy.
Oh, yeah.
And Pierre 13 for 13 at the free throw line on the season. Shot is on the way and good.
I said, Jaden, you got to shoot more. You want him to take shots on the outside here. You got to look for that 3-point shot. I know you're the point guard, but, man, you got to get some guys. He needs to step up and start scoring the ball because he can do it.
Second shot for Pierre is on the way and good. He's got 5, and the Friars are back within 1 with 7:04 on the clock. And the fans getting on their feet here in the amp. Richmond into the forecourt for Seton Hall. Works his way right on Carter. Touches to Coleman. Bediako on the high post. Dribbles left. Stops his penetration. Lobs it back out front for Richmond. Richmond has Carter playing off of him. Starts to the left. Cuts to the right. Passes off the wing. Knocked away and stolen by
Floyd.
Floyd to Carter. Carter to Floyd. Alley-oop.
That's a foul, man. That's a foul. What's he looking at?
Corey Floyd laying it in, got bumped to the floor, no foul called, but the Friars take the lead at 47-46 in timeout, Seton Hall.
How about Corey Floyd on that one? I mean, he was above the rim as he went for that one. Staying ready to play. Corey busting out in this game, perfect from the floor.
They need him desperately. He's got 7 points, 5 of them have come in the second half, and the Friars have retaken the lead. We'll take the timeout as well with 6:27 to go from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
How's that not a foul?
I don't know.
Just because he jumped over the guy who went up to get the ball, the guy fouled him, hit him on the arm.
Undercut. Yeah. Brett, we have one more timeout. Okay, thank you. We'll take the under 4. Oh, boy. We got to figure out a way to win this game.
I know. It's not like we haven't been in a lot of close ones.
That's also true. Okay, thank you.
I'm in a Trivial Pursuit game, you know. I'm the only player in NBA history to go a full season without missing a free throw.
For water, fire, or mold damage, call Rhode Island Restoration, 401-414-1111. Rhode Island's top choice for property damage, cleanup, and repair. Emergency service available 24/7. We were just talking about during the timeout. The Friars have certainly been in a bunch of close ones, especially over the last few years. Providence is 58-26 in games decided by 5 points or less or overtime. In the last 7 years, they're 1-1 in close games this year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good record right there. You know, be able to close them out, especially at home. The Friars are good at home, and hopefully they get the same type of treatment in this one. As the Hanous Jewelers hole-in-one almost happened. About an inch away from going in. I don't know how they can make that shot. I mean, the hole looks big enough for a mouse to climb through. Never mind a golf ball. But big help off the bench, John. Corey Floyd off the bench in this one's been terrific. He's 3 for 3 from the floor. 1 for 2 from the line. He has 4 rebounds in the game, but he's given him a spark off the bench. When Bryce Hopkins went down, Corey had to come in and give him something. And offensively, he's getting it done. On the defensive end, he's done a great job. Highlight film type of alley-oop right there from Carter to him. I thought he was fouling that play. He elevated above everybody. He got his hip knocked out of the way. He ended up on the floor after he finished the shot. I mean, he just don't fall down. Somebody's got a hitch on that situation.
Friars on a 10-2 run in the last 5 minutes and 10 seconds here. Seton Hall, Joe, has managed just to hit 1 of their last 6 from the floor.
Friars got to play the good D, though. They have to come out and continuing to play that solid defense. Don't allow Seton Hall a second shot opportunity when they get that initial stop.
Hall ball, 6:27 left. Friars back in the lead at 47-46, the first lead of the second half. Richmond parts left, comes back to the right, crosses over, pass underneath for Bediako, tries to go up inside on Oduro, banks it up, in and out, it won't go, got his own rebound, and puts it back in.
Well, Oduro just standing there trying not to pick up a foul, but missed that first one. Friars got to get on the glass.
Just the second basket of the game for Bediako. 10 offensive rebounds, however.
Here comes the zone again now for Seton Hall.
10 offensive rebounds for Seton Hall. Here's Pierre, right wing. Carter thought about that three. They'll feed. Oduro spins to the right, scores off the glass.
That's a good one by Oduro right there. Make the quick decision. Take a nice move into the middle. One dribble up off the glass.
19 for Oduro. Friars back up by 1. 5:41 on the clock. Richmond, mid-court circle, starts to the left, uses Davis as a screener, cuts back to the right side, comes around the arc to the right side, hesitates, drives, leaves it off. Davis gets off the three, can't get it, got fouled. Holy smokes, Carter ran into him. Davis kicked his legs out, and he gets 3 free throws.
So Davis is a good shooter from the outside. Carter got there a little bit late. I think his momentum ran into him on that one. Davis gets to go to the line. One of the few guys you got to go out on, take a 3-point shot on his team.
That's the second foul on Carter. 6 on the Friars here in the half. And Gray Davis is going to get 3 free throws. He's 1 for 1 on the game. He's 79% on the season. And he's perfect here in the first one. 6 points in the half, 14 now for the game. Richmond has 16. That one ties the score at 49. Now that one takes the lead as he's hit 2 of 2. The transfer from Louisville, who started in 40 of his 50 career games at Louisville. Averaged almost 10 points per game as a sophomore before transferring, and he misses the third one. And Oduro gets the rebound. Seton Hall has a 1-point lead. There comes Pierre walking into the forecourt, mid-court circle. Friars looking to retake the lead on this possession. Pierre comes to the left side. Oduro grabs it at the top of the key. High post, swings around right for Carter, cuts to the left on Wusu. Jump stop into the lane, turns around, leans inside, lays it up, rolls it in.
Man, how did he get that shot off? What a move by Carter, using his offhand on Wusu, who's a good defensive player. Got away from him and scored.
10 for Devin Carter. Providence back up 1. Richmond hands off Davis. Now he gives it back to Dawes, who bounces left for Richmond. He comes off a screen to the right, kicks the ball through left corner. Dawes doesn't get the shot off. He penetrates on Pierre, stops, and a foul is called. They're going to get Jaden Pierre.
It'll be a 1-on-1.
Yep. That's the 17th foul, was 4:40 to go. And that's the second personal on Jaden.
Well, Jaden did a good job of closing out on Dawes right there. We made a 3-pointer in that corner in the second half. Didn't want him to take another one, but Dawes got him leaning forward and got by him with the dribble. And Jaden tried to catch up but picked up the foul.
So Dawes, 91% from the line for Seton Hall, leading them.
That's pretty good.
Hits the first one.
That's the last guy you want on the foul line.
That's his 6th point of the ball game. Their average is 12.2. He's got one more here to try to give his team the lead again. And the second shot for Dawes. 2 dribbles at the line, lets it go, got it. Got them both. He's got 7, 5 of it here in the second half. Seton Hall back up by 1. 4:40 on the clock. Friars will inbound. Pierre has it in the backcourt against Dawes. Quick move into the forecourt. Stops short of the mid-floor line. Now gets across the mid-floor line, works to the right, leaves it there for Carter. Carter starts right, goes left, back to the right on Wusu, gets into the lane, backs it outside the stripe to Pierre. Pierre now finds Floyd, who gets the catch and shoot three and throws up an air ball. And the rebound is taken by Wusu at the right elbow.
Man.
Here's Richmond. Quick pass. Forecourt left. Dawes doesn't get the shot off against Pierre. Has it on the left sideline. Jab steps. Going to fire up the three and gets it.
Wow.
What a shot by Alamir Dawes.
That's a big hoop right there.
He's got 8 of his 10 here in the second half. And Seton Hall back up by 4. And we've dipped under 4 minutes to play. Crucial possession here. Carter, left side, drives on Wusu.
Oduro.
Yep, finds Oduro in the left block, works his way in on Bediako, and they come over to try to double on him, and Davis is called for a reach-in foul.
He came along the baseline that time and called. That's a phantom foul right there. I mean, Davis got there late. I don't even think he got there in time to foul him. I think it should have been on the big guy, if anybody.
Third foul on Davis, and Oduro will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 after the timeout with 3:43 to go. Seton Hall 55, Providence 51. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Congratulations to Brady, tonight's lucky 7 promo winner. Rhode Island Lottery. Be sure to play Rhode Island Lottery's new Keto overtime feature. Rhode Island Lottery. So all in the draw.
Damn.
Shout out to Coach Barrett and our women's basketball team. Their next game is Saturday, January 6th. When the Friars host St. John's at 6 p.m. at Alumni Hall. Visit Friars.com for
Holy
some
crap.
seats today. And we can't wait to see you back at the end for the Friars' next Big East contest against Xavier on Saturday, January 13th. The game tips at 2 p.m. and it's our annual Military Appreciation Day game presented by Milton Kemp. Be sure to visit Friars.com for ticket options today. All right, fans, make some noise for the Jersey Mike Jersey Cam. Make sure to show off those jerseys for your chance to get on the big board at the next home game. Jersey Mike is a proud sponsor of Providence Friar Athletics.
Man. Corey Floyd, man, I shot that in. I mean, he wasn't even close. He was wondering about getting his shot blocked.
Seton Hall scored 5 unanswered points over the last minute and 20 seconds to retake a 4-point lead at 55-51 over the Friars. And as you said, 3:43 to go. Crunch time has arrived.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, John, Seton Hall doing a good job shooting threes in this game. They came in shooting 29% from three. They're 7 for 14 in this game from three-point range.
Wow.
And that's the difference right now. The Friars wanted to take away the two-point game and make them take threes. Well, hope they would take threes. You don't want to give them open looks, but contested ones.
Well, Seton Hall is 12 for 39 shooting twos tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're making shots when they have to. When they get into the paint, they score. But Dawes has hit a couple of big threes in this one. He's got 2 in the second half here, and a big one the last time out. I mean, I thought Pierre was up on his shooting hand right there, but Dawes raised up and knocked it down. But you got to worry about Dawes and Richmond taking those. I mean, Dawes taking those 3-point shots, and Davis on the outside. He's perfect from 3-point land at 2 for 2. But you got Oduro going to the line now at 80%. Needs to start up this 1-on-1. Needs to knock down a couple here. The Friars have to tighten up the D.
Got to knock him down to the line now. Oduro 3 for 3 tonight. Has 19 points to lead the Friars in scoring. 14 of that came in the first half. Also has 2 rebounds and 2 block shots. His first try at the foul line is good.
Well, you talk about some of the games the Friars had where they had good leads and they were missing the free throws, but now these are really important free throws to make when you're down by 3.
At a 19-point, 14-rebound double-double against Butler. Second shot is good. He's got 21. Friars back within 2. Seton Hall with the ball. 3:37 on the clock. Davis, Richmond, middle of the floor now. Richmond starts left against Devin Carter. Cuts to the right, back to the left off the Davis screen. Left wing for Dawes. Dawes, Pierre on top of him, feeds the post. Davis goes down low on Gaines, tries to go up and under, scores.
Well, see, you normally would have Hopkins in there. And then Davis won't be able to make that post-up move because Hopkins is as big as him and maybe bigger.
He's got 9 in the second half and 17 now for the game to lead Seton Hall in scoring. Trey Davis.
You got those 3-pointers too, so you got to worry about both of them.
Here's Pierre on the left wing. Friars down 4. We're coming up on 3 minutes to play. Pierre tries to work his way in on Dawes in front of the Friar bench. Bounce pass to Oduro. Well out of the post. Now going to work his way
coming on
in
the double.
on Bediako with 10 to shoot. He's going to spin into the lane. Goes up and under. Turn around a little jump hook. No, can't get it. Off the back iron and Wusu with the rebound.
Good D there by Bediako. And Richmond was in there trying to come along the baseline to double team.
Now you got to get a stop. Down by 4. 2:40 to play. Richmond has it outside the 3-point strike. High screen set. Cuts to the right. Back to the left. Down the lane. Leans in. Bank shot. No! Missed it. And a rebound for Providence. Up the floor. Floyd finds Pierre. Pierre looks to dribble penetrate. Goes down the lane. Gets it through to Oduro. Reverse layup. Can't finish it. It rolled off the rim. Oh, Josh. Oh, my goodness. What happened there? 2:14. Richmond again with the ball for Seton Hall. It's 57-53 Pirates looking for the upset of 23rd ranked Providence. Bediako bounce pass top of the key for Richmond. 10 to shoot, and we're going under 2 to play. Dawes backs it out against Pierre. Drives to the right, steps back, cuts back left, gets in the lane, scoops up with the right hand off the rim and in for Alamir Dawes. What a play there by the senior transfer from Clemson, and Kim English calls timeout with 1:52 left, and the Hall back up by 6.
Good move there by Dawes. Good move by Dawes. You know, you got to take away the 3. You can't foul him because he shoots 91% from the line. He gets by you because you got to worry about him making a 3-point shot, and he beats Pierre that time with a little reverse layup.
That hurt.
You know, Oduro misses the layup down this end. You know, tough traffic. You got to beat 3 guys out there. You got everybody helping. But when Oduro gets that ball making the move in there, if the Friars move to an open spot, they can't help. Richmond's leaving his man. Whoever Richmond is guarding has to go to an open spot. Friars haven't been able to find any open guys for good looks here in the second half.
Let's see what the Friars can come up with out of the huddle. Down 6, 1:52 to go. Still plenty of time, but now you got to make sure you get stops, and you can't put them on the foul line. Both teams are in the bonus.
I wish Jaden Pierre would look for his shot a little bit more. You know, when you're lacking having Hopkins on the floor, Jaden's, he's the point guard. He likes to set things up for everybody, but he's got to look for that jump shot too. I mean, he's so quick. The guys back off. They fight to get by him, and then if you can pull up and take the jumper, take it.
Josh Oduro hit his first 6 shots of the game, Joe. He was 6 for 6. Since then, he's 2 for 13.
Oh, boy.
Here
came in here won last year, so Friars need to get a score here.
Here's Pierre driving on Dawes to the right side, gets into the lane, and they've got a bump from Dawes. And he's going to go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. First foul of the game on Alamir Dawes. Most importantly, it stops the clock. 1:43. And Pierre's going to go to the line. Nope. Yeah, they should. Yeah, it's 1-and-1.
He got fouled by Dawes.
That's the 9th team foul. So a 1-and-1 here for Pierre. He's at 2 of 2, has 5 points. All of it has come here in the second half.
You got to knock these down, and you got to.
First shot by Jaden, bounces and stays.
And the ball's probably going to go through Richmond, but Richmond's not a good foul. Well, no, he is a good foul. So he was 78%. Yeah. And these guys, either Richmond or Dawes, is going to go to the basket, try to pick up the fouls.
Second shot here is good. It's 59-55, 1:43 to go. Inbounds coming to Dawes. Seton Hall is a very good free throw shooting team, 75% from the line of the season. Dawes into the forecourt, finds Richmond midcourt circle. 1:33 and counting down. 2-possession game. Davis drives to the right. Wusu cuts back to the left on the perimeter. Hands off there for Richmond. Richmond, man-on-man with Carter. Comes to the right wing. Dawes gets off a 3. Can't get it. Long rebound. Taken down on the wing by Floyd.
Floyd's had some big rebounds in this game.
Here come the Friars. Got to score. 1:12 to go. Pierre off the top of the key. Pushes to the right for Floyd. Corey pulls it out against Wusu. Now back for Carter. Takes the 3. Steps to the right. Fires the 3. Off the rim. No good. And the rebound taken by Wusu.
I just don't like that shot. I mean, he's made him, but I got to go in Oduro right there. You're going to get to the foul line or a score there with 2 points. It's a 4-point game.
Dawes tries to back his way into the forecourt with 50 seconds to go. Davis now between the circles. Goes left side again for Wusu. Wusu, top of the key for Bediako. Bediako looks back to the left for Wusu. Down to 9 to shoot. Wusu on the left sideline. Wants to cut back to the right. Crossover. Step back. Three-pointer. Wusu can't get it. Long rebound. Taken by Richmond. Richmond got the offensive rebound and got fouled with 30 seconds to go. That's a killer. That's a killer. Carter is called for the foul. His third. With 30.1 on the clock, it's going to put Richmond at the line, shooting the 1-and-1. On the 8th team foul.
Well, this Seton Hall team's a pretty good offensive rebounding team, and that was a big one right there.
And the free throw is no good. Oduro with the rebound. You're down 4, 28 seconds left. Here comes Pierre into the forecourt. Stops, crosses over, drives to the right, goes all the way through the basket. Out front for Floyd. He gets to the rim. Underneath to Oduro, who lays it up and in. Oduro got the deuce. And Kim English calls a timeout with 17.6 left. It's a 2-point game at 59-57. So the Friars are going to have to come up with a steal.
No, they got a foul, yeah.
Or foul. If they can't get the steal, they will have to foul.
Have to find out now who the worst free throw shooters on the floor right now. Bediako is the worst one at 67. Deawuso 61.
But the problem is you got to keep the guys who can shoot from getting the inbound.
Yeah, you got to deny the ball to Dre Davis, obviously. And you got to hope that Bediako or Deawuso get the ball on the inbounds, and you have to go over them and foul them right away. You can't let them take that much time off the clock. If you don't get the steal, you got to foul right away and turn it into a free throw shooting contest.
Well, that's what we have ahead of us here. That's the second timeout called here in the half. So the Friars have, where are we with timeouts? Looks to me like they've got one left if they need to use it. Seton Hall has a couple left here in the half. 17.6 on the clock. Seton Hall led it by 5 at halftime. Had the lead out to as much as 8 here in the second half at 39-31 with 12 minutes and change to go. And the Friars came storming back on a 12-0 run, ended up retaking the lead on a couple of occasions. The first one at 47-46, and then had the lead at 51-50. And then since that time, Seton Hall has outscored them 9-6 over the last 3.5 minutes.
Well, right here, you got to find out. You got to foul. So Deawuso's on the floor. They took Bediako out of the game. And you have, who's number 13 in there? He's Sanders. He is 3 for 3 from the line on the year. And so he's placing Bediako. So they got their best free throw shooters in the ball game right now. I would foul Sanders, even though he's 3 for 3. He hasn't played the whole second half.
Wusu will inbound the ball. Friars with full court pressure in the backcourt to our left. Friars have one timeout left, as we suggested, 2 for Seton Hall. Wusu can run the baseline. So he looks for the inbounds pass. Floyd in front of him. They inbound it to Dawes.
Don't foul him.
Double
Don't foul
team
him.
in the backcourt. And he lost the ball. Out of bounds.
You got to look at that. What are you looking at? Oh, my God.
That ball came off of Dawes out of bounds. Referee Jeff Anderson says it's Seton Hall ball. But he calmly will walk to the sideline to look at it and see who that ball is off of.
Well, it looked like it was off him.
Sure did.
But, he went to look at it. But he called it Seton Hall ball right away.
Yeah, he didn't hesitate to make that call. We were screened away from the play. Happened right on the baseline to our left. That looks like, if they look up on the screen here, that looks like it is off of Dawes. If he put the ball down, Floyd hit it. And it looks like he got his hand on it.
Yeah, well, the referee doesn't want to be wrong on an initial call. They got egos too, Look at Anderson. He's trying to make a way where he didn't make the call right.
I mean, it looked like he got his hand on it. But to be fair, it's a tough call.
Thank goodness for replay. Bottom line is you want to get it right. Not like they did in the Detroit-Dallas game. Oh, how bad was that?
Yeah, no kidding. 14.3 seconds left. Seton Hall leads it 59-57.
There it is right there. I mean,
so
it's
we're
shown in
looking at
slow
it
mo.
again, and we see it down here. And it looks like, I don't know, can he overturn it? He comes over and talks to the scoring table. You probably can see what we can see at home. And then now they're coming over and looking at the truck monitor. It's going to be Providence ball. It will be Providence ball.
Boy, thank goodness for replay.
14.3 on the clock. The Friars can tie it or win it.
Well, you know where this ball's going.
Inside.
Josh Oduro. You got to get him the ball inside because if he doesn't score, maybe picks up the foul and you got an 80% foul shooter going online, or maybe both.
So the Friars have it and a chance to tie it with 14 seconds left, down 59-57. They'll inbound from the baseline to the right of the basket. Jaden Pierre will inbound it. Alamir Dawes, who had that crucial turnover, is off to his left guarding it. Pierre has the ball, looks for the inbounds, can't move. They lob it to Oduro. Oduro has it at the foul line, puts it on the floor, spins to the lane, goes up with the left hand, can't get it. He missed it. Rebound for Wusu, and Wusu gets fouled with 6.4 left. Oh, Josh Oduro, 6 for 6 to start the game, and 3 for 15 afterward.
Boy, oh boy, they had him where they wanted it too. They want to throw it into him to clear out the perimeter. Got it into Oduro. Makes a nice move. They probably should have gone up with the right hand instead of the left there.
The foul was called on Gaines. That's the 19th foul, so it's still a 1-and-1 here for Dylan Adewusu, and Kim English uses his final timeout here with 6.4 seconds left.
Boy, oh boy.
You had what you wanted.
Absolutely. Josh Oduro's been like wearing everybody out all year long, and he started off in this game doing the same thing. He's had good looks. He just hasn't been able to finish them in the second half here, unfortunately. That was a good move right there. They set up the play the way they wanted. Get it to your best free throw shooter. Well, second best behind Pierre. He had him beat. No help defense. And he just couldn't finish off with the left hand. I mean, good defense right there to make him take a shot off his offhand, too, instead of his strong hand. They just couldn't put it in.
So now Dylan Adewusu, the St. John's transfer, a 61% foul shooter this season. He's 2 for 2 tonight at the line. He needs to hit 1 to make it a 3-point game. If he hits 2, that might do it with 6.4 seconds left. 59-57 Seton Hall. On the road in the Big East, an upset, man, that would be huge. So here's Wusu at the line. The senior from the Bronx. Free throw is good. Nothing but net. Now this one could make it a 4-point game and make it nearly impossible. Averaged better than 10 points per game in the Big East a year ago. Has 11 tonight. And the shot is up and good. Big free throw for Dylan Wusu. Wow. Inbounds comes to Pierre. Pierre streaks into the forecourt right side for Oduro with 3, with 2. Carter gets off the three-pointer, no good. And Seton Hall pulls off the upset, beating 23rd ranked Providence here at the Amp, 61-57. Providence's first defeat of the year at home after 10 wins.
Tough loss for the Friars, John, because they came out in the first half looking so smooth, up 19-10. Everything was clicking, and then just couldn't get any rhythm back on the offensive end. Had some great opportunities late in this ball game to tie the score, but just weren't able to finish it.
And, of course, the story within the story, if you joined us late, Friar junior forward Bryce Hopkins injuring his left knee in the second half and did not return to the floor. We don't have any updates for you yet. We'll talk a little about that here on the postgame show coming up, but we're really not going to try to speculate too much. We can only imagine that, that the trainers and the doctors will take care of it in due course, and we'll find out through the media and the social media. But if we get any updates, we will pass it along. Providence loses for the first time in Big East play. They dropped to 2-1. They're 11-3 on the season. Seton Hall improved to 9-5, and they tied the Friars at 2-1 in Big East play with a huge road win. They will be hard to come by this season. Our Santander postgame show is coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Milton Cat. Visit Friars.com for ticket options today. Drive home safely and go Friars.
Oh, boy. I know. Well, they did a good job of denying him the ball.
Well, they took a steady diet of Oduro inside.
Yep. But I think they almost got too one-dimensional.
They did. Oduro needs to look to pass a little bit too. So,
Yeah.
but he only had to be one guy.
Yeah.
Neither one of those guys could guard him. He just couldn't make the shots. You got to up with that left-handed shot, man. Do another pump fake and take it up with your right. You're going to get fouled, you know?
Yep.
Why don't you hold it a little bit longer and try for the three?
Nah.
Yeah.
No, that was the right play. Yeah, you got to tie the score up.
Yep.
Damn, man. Shit.
That's tough. Man alive, that's tough.
When we jumped out, I said, there's no way we're losing this game.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, poofed.
Went
it
to the
happened when he
bench.
started substituting.
Yeah, substitutions. Whole rhythm disappeared.
Sucked him right out of the rhythm. Man.
When are you going to do that if not then?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you got to make substitutions. You got to give guys a blow, but guys coming off the bench and
Oh, are you already out of the building?
You could actually hear him screaming in the background,
yeah,
which is just horrific.
And he was crying when he came off the floor in front of us. So, and he's a guy that gets beat up the whole game. He just pops right up. He doesn't milk an injury or anything. So he's got something going on right there. Hopefully, it's not bad.
Well, we can hope. You can certainly imagine that the Friar doctoral staff and the training staff will put him through all of the necessary testing to find out the extent of whatever damage he has. He could not put any weight on the left knee as he was helped off of the floor, and he went into the locker room and did not come back out into the floor at any point in time in the second half, and that certainly cast a huge pall over the crowd here. Almost 12,000 fans here tonight inside the amp, and it just kind of put a doggy downer on just about everything. And then on top of that, Seton Hall showed some grittiness and some toughness at the end. And as we talked about in the pregame, Seton Hall has one of the oldest, most experienced teams in the country, starting 4 seniors and a graduate player out on the floor. Didn't need to get in their bench, and they literally out-toughed, I thought, the Friars at the end and take it 61-57.
Well, you mentioned that they're the 15th oldest team in the country. They've taught 5 seniors and 1 graduate senior. But Friars come out, John, up 19-10. It looked like it was going to be, one of those games where they jumped on Marquette, and now they jumped on Wisconsin and just ran away with it. And they did some substitutions, and the rhythm of the game just changed for them on the offensive end. And Seton Hall went to a zone, and the Friars struggled against the zone. They tried to turn the ball over against the zone and didn't get any good looks. And Gaines only took 3 shots in the ball game. Jaden Pierre's not looking for his shot.
Yeah, I think that's one of the stories. I think that's one of the pieces to this puzzle, Joe, that really we hadn't had a chance to discuss much because of the course of the game, the way everything was tight. But, Ticket Gaines cannot shoot the ball just 3 times.
Well, if you're playing against a zone, Pierre shoots 42% from 3. He's not even looking for his shot, though.
He took 4 shots,
and
one more than
he made one off the bank, but he had some open looks. You got to take those shots. Everybody's got the green light, and Gaines only took 3 shots. So when you're playing against a zone like that, you got to find Gaines in the corner. I think Oduro knew he had matchup advantages in the game and kept going at those big guys. I don't think those big guys could guard him. Oduro just missed shots that he normally makes, and that happens in games. You put yourself in a position to score. But when you're playing against the zone, Oduro catches the ball in the post like that. If there's going to be a double team, he's got to find open guys in the corner for threes, and they didn't move the ball that well in this ball game. Friars only had, would they have 11 assists in the ball game?
Mm-hmm.
They had 11 assists at halftime the last game. So, when they're moving the ball themselves and they're getting a lot of assists, that's when their offense is clicking. And I felt in this game there was a lot of one-on-one going on, and that's what Seton Hall wants you to do because they're going to play you straight up and then maybe help out. In the end of the game, they had Richmond in the middle there trying to double-team Oduro, so Oduro had to rush some shots with the left hand and right hand. But, he took 21 shots. That's a lot of shots for him. He go a whole game and now, take 6 shots in the game. So
right.
I think, from a distribution standpoint, I thought Seton Hall did a good job of disrupting the Friar offense. But the Friars, it got so easy for them. They were down 8-2. 2 3-pointers that they made. I want to point out the defense was to go underneath the screens against Richmond out on the perimeter and Dewusu because you want them to shoot threes. Well, both of them took threes and made them, and that's good because you want them to take threes. You don't want them to get to the basket. That's where they're more effective. Friars took that away in the beginning. They made a couple. Then the Friars had a 15-2 run, got up 19-10. You felt like, man, this game, they got good control of it now. Let's keep it going. But they weren't able to sustain it when they went to the bench.
They went to the bench. That's kind of what happened. You get to the second timeout of the first half, and substitutions came in for Kim English, and the subs just for whatever reason, it was like the air was let out of the balloon.
Yeah, and they had those turnovers. They had a lot of turnovers in the first half, and
they went better than 6.5 minutes without scoring one stretch in the first half.
Yeah, Seton Hall had 9 more attempts at the basket in the first half than the Friars because they had all those turnovers.
Yep.
So, when Seton Hall hung around and made some shots, and then when they got the lead, they're a very good foul shooting team. They shoot 78% from the foul line this year, and they get the right guys on the line, and the little kid Dawes is 91% from the foul line. So you get in a close game, they're going to ice it away on the foul line. So good job by Seton Hall of banging and hanging in the game, down 19-10. Looks like they were just dead in the water. The Friars just couldn't get anything going against that zone and no rhythm in the offense in the second half.
Yeah, the game was a halftime lead of 5 for Seton Hall. It was 29-24 at the half. After the Friars had that 9-point lead, as Joe talked about, then Seton Hall closed on a huge run to take the lead. It was actually 19-10. So the Friars scored 5 points in the final 11 minutes and 40 seconds of the first half. That's a killer.
It is. It wasn't like the defense was bad, John. They give up 63 points a game, the Friars, to their opponents. Seton Hall scored 61. Friars averaged 75 points a game, and they scored 57 in this game. The offense was the problem in this one. I thought the defense was pretty solid most of the game. Seton Hall made some precious shots, especially the three-pointer in the corner that the kid Dawes made. Pretty good defense, I thought. But other than that, I thought the defense was pretty solid. The rebounding battle, Seton Hall won 38-36, but had 11 offensive rebounds. They almost doubled up the Friars on the offensive glass, and those things hurt you when you're trying to get back into the game or tie the game. But I thought defensively it was a decent effort, but offensively That's where the problem was. Friars for the game shot 37%. They've been shooting much better than that all year, and they were just 23 from three-point land at 4 for 17. So, offensively, it just didn't go in the hole tonight, and I didn't think their offense was as fluid as it has been while they were winning the ball games.
Well, the Friars, it was Seton Hall had a slight lead when Bryce Hopkins went out in the second half, and then from that point in time, we thought, well, somebody had to step up. You got a little bit of life from Corey Floyd off the bench. You got a big three from Jaden Pierre, who banked one in. Devin Carter actually responded with 7 points as well, but even his shooting was off. And then, as we said, Ticket Gaines only took 3 shots all night, and that ends up being their undoing tonight. You said it, lack of offense.
Yeah, I mean, Ticket Gaines and Jaden Pierre have to step up offensively especially when Hopkins goes out. I mean, you got to get some points from somebody else. Your leading scorer, second leading scorer, and 16 points a game. So if I'm Pierre out there, I know I'm the point guard, and I shoot 42% from three. I got to look for my shot. He's very difficult to guard when he drives to the basket and stops and then backs off. I mean, he can pull up and take the jump shot. He's looking to pass all the time, which you like to have on a point guard, but at some point you got to say, so, hey, I got to stop putting the ball in the basket. Yeah. And Gaines has to look for some more shots himself, trying to get open and spot up, but he needs teammates to find him, and he wasn't found very often in this game. In 34 minutes, he just took 3 shots.
Well, when Hopkins went down, there was 14:59 left in the ball game, and the Friars were down 37-31, and then they came back and took the lead at 47-46, had a 51-50 lead with 3 minutes and change left to go. 4 minutes
couldn't get a rebound,
to go, and couldn't. You're right. Offensive rebounding by Seton Hall, and the Pirates outscored the Friars 11-6 in the final 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that they were able to put it together because they were able to get the offensive rebound and execute down the stretch there. Friars took the lead 3 times and just couldn't get a stop on the other end. You get a stop and you get yourself up by 3 at that point when Seton Hall seemed to have control of the game. Now you put a little bit more pressure on Seton Hall to score. And then, Friar defense has been there. I mean, the defense, they held them to what they all normally average, but they weren't able to get stops when they needed to or get the rebound when you had to.
Yeah, that's where you got to give Seton Hall the credit. It was actually 51-50 with 5:03 left to go. And then the Friars could score 6 points in the last 5 minutes. That was their undoing.
Yeah, I mean, you get games like that. You just hope you don't have them, on your home court. You got to win your home court game. But, hey, you're not going to, you have to win the next game, as they say. But, losing Hopkins obviously hurt.
That a live score right there? Okay.
Kim's about to go to the podium, so I doubt he says anything, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Still should have won that game.
Are you monitoring it? Yeah. Okay. That's good. Corey Floyd with a boost there in the second half gave the Friars their first lead of the second half. Had the lead again at 51-50 with 5 minutes to go. Just could not generate enough offense to overcome it. In the last 3 seasons, Joe, the Friars are 40-2 at home against every team not named Seton Hall. They're 1-2 against the Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, all right, last year was kind of a joke, but this game here, you look at the little things that become big things in the game. And you mentioned Bryce Hopkins being out. He went out 14 minutes to go in the half, John, second half. He's out there. He had 8 rebounds while he was in the game. And the Friars had battle on the rebounds. Now, having Bryce in the game late there, he's the guy who gobbles up those rebounds. Plus, I think Odoro got a little bit tired in the ball game. He had to play 34 minutes, almost 35 minutes in this ball game, because you can't play Castro a lot of minutes in the game because he doesn't give it to you that what Odoro can give out there. Castro played 5 minutes. So you play Hopkins. When Odoro goes out, Hopkins spells him at the center position where you don't lose anything with Hopkins in there. Matter of fact, you gain while he's in there because they have a problem matching up. Any opposition has a problem matching up with Hopkins at the center because he's so quick and he gets down the floor and he beats the big guy. By not having that flexibility in the post position, I think it affected Odoro's offense in the second half because he didn't have the lift and his shots were short on layups. And getting that position, I think he wore himself down because he had to play all those minutes.
All right, let's take a look at the numbers here for Seton Hall as they improved to 9-5 in the season, and they get their second top 25 win of the year. Their non-league wins were sort of, their best win of the year was against Missouri, 93-87 earlier this year. They lost to then 23rd ranked Southern Cal. They lost to 6th ranked Baylor, but they did beat 5th ranked UConn, and now they've knocked off 23rd ranked Providence. So a couple of really good wins. They have 4 in double figures, led by 17 points from Louisville transfer Dre Davis, the senior from Indianapolis, had 9 of his 17 in the second half. 16 points, 8 rebounds for Kadari Richmond, who had 11 of those 16 in the first half. Friars limited him to just 1 field goal in the second half, and he finished 6 for 16 from the floor. He did have 8 rebounds. 12 points, 11 rebounds, double-double for Dylan Adewusu. The St. John's transfer came up big, had 6 in each half, and his offensive rebounding I thought was big tonight. He ended up with, he had 10 defensive rebounds out of his 11 rebounds total, but I think the one offensive rebound he had in crunch time when the Friars were trying to come from behind.
And he made the 2 free throws to ice the game, and he played the most minutes for Seton. He played 37 minutes in the ball game, so he gives them a lot of flexibility out there, John. He can play the point guard position, play defense, the 2 guard, the 3. I mean, he's a physical guy. He plays Hopkins a lot last year, so he gives you a lot of versatility.
Alamir Dawes, the Clemson transfer, had 12 points as well. He had 10 of those 12 in the second half, including a couple of big threes. 4 points, 6 rebounds for Jaden Bediako. Nobody else scored for the Pirates. They finished 21 of 58, so not a deep bench. It was just their 5 starters that scored. They got nothing from their bench. 0 points in 35 minutes of playing time. No points. But 21 of 58 for the starters. That's 36% shooting. 7 of 16 from 3. That's almost 44%, which is considerably better
than what they came into the game averaging just 29% from three going into the game. And they were 12 of 16 from the foul line. That's right at their 75% average. Rebounding went to Seton Hall, 38-36, including 11 offensive rebounds. 5 of those came from Jaden Bediako, and the Friars, Joe, when they get out rebounded now, 0-2 on the season.
Yeah, not having Hopkins in there last 14 minutes really hurt you because he gets a lot of big rebounds in traffic, and that was the difference. They get those second shot opportunities, but they beat him up on the boards. But also, John, Friars weren't really concerned about Seton Hall's three-point shooting coming into the game at 29%. They had a plan, wanted Richmond to shoot threes and Deauso to shoot threes, and they made a couple. But they shot 7 for 16, which that's a really good number for them this year when you're shooting just 29%.
Kim English telling the media in the postgame just moments ago that Bryce Hopkins will have his left knee reevaluated tomorrow. English said Hopkins will have medical scanning done on his left knee, MRI, what have you. And that's really it. Josh Oduro is also in the media section, and he says he believes whatever the case would be, Bryce Hopkins is going to just attack the rehab, which you would expect from a kid like Bryce.
Yeah, they'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm not a medical doctor, but I know when you have an injury like that, you try to get as much ice on it right away to keep the swelling down so they can go in there and look at it a little bit better when the swelling's down a bit. But that's a tough one to Bryce have, and a tough one for the team for sure.
Well, Bryce ended up with 5 points and 8 rebounds before he went down just under 15 minutes to play in the second half. Josh Oduro led all scorers in this one with 23 points, but just 3 rebounds for Josh in this one. 9 of 21 from the floor. He hit his first 6 shots in the first half, so that means he was just 3 for his last 15 from the floor, including the one that could have tied it with under a minute to go.
Yeah,
about a minute to go.
Yeah, they set it up. They wanted him to get the ball, and that's the smart play to do because if he gets fouled, he's their best foul shooter. Second best behind Pierre. So you can get to the line and maybe tie the score with 2 free throws. But he went with the left hand on that move. There was no help coming over and just missed the shot. And again, John, I thought he just got a little tired at the end. That's the most shot. He would go 3 games and not take 21 shots total. Yeah. So they really went to him in this one because they needed him, and they felt like he had the matchups that they really wanted to go against, and he got the moves, he had the shots he wanted. He was shorthanding some things, and then came up short on a lot of shots.
Evan Carter was the only other Friar in double figures after Oduro. Had 10 points and 10 rebounds, so it's his 4th double-double of the season, the 5th of his career. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. But Devin was only 4 of 13 and 2 of 7 from 3.
Yeah, he struggled shooting the ball from the outside in this one, but he did a good job defensively. He does everything that Devin does. He's out there on the floor, gives you all the intangibles with the 6 assists he had in the ball game. He just didn't make shots. He had a tough time making shots. 2 for 7 from 3.
Ticket Gaines, 2 points, 3 rebounds, just 1 for 3 in his 34 minutes. That's a killer. Jaden Pierre, 7 points, a rebound, only 1 assist in his 35 minutes. 3 points off of the bench from Garway Duell, 7 points, 6 rebounds for Corey Floyd in his 19 minutes. And then you got 5 scoreless minutes from Rafael Castro and 4.5 scoreless minutes from Rich Barron. Friars shot 20 of 54. That's 37%. Actually outshot Seton Hall by 1 percentage point. Just 4 of 17 on threes, though. I thought Seton Hall did a good job of marking where the Friars were on the floor and did a good job, really, of limiting touches by Devontae Gaines. I think that was part of it tonight.
Well, they're not helping on defense until the end of the game where they helped with Don Oduro. But most of the time they were taking away the 3. They didn't want Gaines to get open for a 3, so they took him out of the game a little bit and fronted him as well. Deauso fronted his man. So he said, listen, you got to beat us with 2s, and the Friars weren't able to do it. Weren't able to make those shots when they needed to.
Free throw line was better tonight, 13 of 15 from the foul line. It kept the Friars in the game, but we mentioned they got out-rebounded, 38-36. It's the second time they've been out-rebounded in a game this year, and they've lost both of those games. Turnovers, 14 turnovers, and that led to 7 Seton Hall points in the ball game. Friars had 11 assists on their 20 made baskets. In front of 11,458 here in the AMP tonight. Friars dropped to 11-3 overall, 2-1 in Big East play, 61-57.
Yeah, tough loss, but the bigger picture is a really tough loss for Bryce Hopkins. Hopefully he's okay, and maybe it's just a strain there, and he didn't,
or a bruise or something, a twist.
He's a great kid, and when he gets banged around all over the place, he ends up on the floor half the time, half the game. So, but you know, when he doesn't get up, you know, he was crying when he was coming off the floor in front of us. So it had to be something that hurt.
The entire arena went silent, and you could hear his screams. That's just blood curdling, and your heart goes out. There's anybody who's competing out on the floor, but nice kid like Bryce, yeah, your heart goes out to him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anybody get hurt, but you know, especially a guy like him. I mean, he gives you everything out there. You know, when he's not shooting the ball well, he does everything else. He rebounds, he plays defense, and you know, and it's you know, give the Friars some credit though, John. They had to go 14 minutes without him. They're not a big team to begin with, and they had their opportunities in this game to win, and they just weren't able to execute down the stretch. I think because I think guys were a little bit worn out. You know, especially Oduro.
This is where the bench will come into play. We'll take a final timeout. We'll wrap up the Santander postgame show coming up from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
We won't be here for a while, will we?
No, we come back. When are we?
No, 13th.
13th, right?
Against Xavier.
Xavier, right? Okay. Yep.
It's a 2 p.m. game. 2 p.m. game on the Saturday, January 13th.
You got scores? Okay. Wow. Right down to the end on that one, huh?
St. Joe's is pretty good.
And only one other game tonight, right? Xavier and Villanova? Yeah.
Devin's out here. Do you think one of you could grab him? Maybe he knows something.
I doubt he does, and I don't think he would even say it. Oh.
I could see the trainer talking to one of the coaches over there. It wasn't a good conversation.
No.
I could see one of the trainer talking to one of the coaches over there. It wasn't a good after the game. Let's go with the trainer. Oh yeah.
So you can see what kind of a start it was to the game tonight for Josh Oduro. Hit his first 6. Unfortunately, he could only hit 3 of his last 15. Nevertheless, with his 23 points tonight, he is our Audi Warwick outstanding performance of the game.
Well, it's nice when you have fresh legs like he had to start the game. I think the legs got a little bit heavy in the second half, and he just didn't have that bounce where he was finishing.
Elsewhere tonight in college basketball, only one other game in the Big East. Villanova is at home against Xavier. And with 8:58 to go in the first half, Nova has a 4-point lead over the Musketeers, 21-17. Villanova right now at 2-0, the only undefeated team in the Big East Conference after 2 games. And in their third game, and they're getting a battle from Xavier.
Well, everybody must be playing a man-to-man because they're tough against man-to-man. When you play them zone, you seem to beat them. Like all the Big Five teams are beating them playing zone.
And Rhode Island is at home tonight in the A-10 against St. Joseph's, and this one's going right down to the wire. There's 28 seconds left, and URI leads St. Joe's 74-72.
St. Joe's beat Villanova this year, I think.
They did.
Yeah, they did. So,
in fact, everybody in Philadelphia beat Villanova.
Yeah, so, I mean, they played a zone against them, so be a nice win for URI if they can pick that one off.
Absolutely. Could really use that without a doubt. That means next up for the Friars, on the road. After 3 home games to start for the first time ever in Big East play, they couldn't complete the 3-game sweep, unfortunately, but what happened here will be Creighton on Saturday afternoon, a 2 p.m. tip at nationally ranked, or at least Creighton was ranked 22nd, but they dropped out of the rankings with a loss last week, and you got a chance to bounce back against a team that a lot of people feel like was a preseason contender, not just for a Big East title, but maybe even for the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, they came out, they were highly ranked to start the year, but, they've had some tough losses, and, the Creighton team of the past, I mean, they were a team that wasn't great on defense, and, they think offensively they can really shoot it. So you have to get out on those 3-point shooters.
And if you're without Bryce Hopkins, which is entirely possible and maybe even probable on Saturday, Friars are going to have to figure out a way to find his ghost out on the floor, right?
Yeah, I mean, Corey Floyd's probably going to step up and get those minutes now. But he's not Bryce Hopkins. He's a different type of player. So the Friars are going to be small, even smaller than they were. And the rotation kind of hurts. And, Castro has to find a way. They got to find a way where he can come in there and make a difference in the ball game when he plays. And he hasn't been able to do that so far. So when you go small, Castro's going to have to play now.
Time to work on it. We'll have the broadcast for you on Saturday afternoon right here on News Talk 99.7 and AM 630. WPRO beginning at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time with a tip-off at 2 o'clock. Our next Kim English radio show actually will be Friday night at 6 o'clock. We will air it Friday night at 6 p.m. right here on WPRO, and Coach English will not only provide the insight from this game, I'm sure we'll have an update on Bryce Hopkins' status as well.
Yep, hopefully it's good, Bryce Hopkins, not only for the team, but more importantly for him because he's a really super kid, and he gives them so much out there on the floor when he's out there.
Our thanks to studio producer Brett Ferruccio, our engineer Matt Morrell, Austin Rooke with our stats and our halftime hosting duties. And for my partner, Joe Hassett, I'm John Rooke. Again, our final score, Seton Hall wins it in an upset here at the AMP, 61-57 over 23rd-ranked Providence. The Friars and the Creighton Blue Jays in Omaha, the CHI Health Center on Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. tip, 1:40 airtime right here on WPRO. And don't forget the Kim English Show, Friday night at 6 as well, here on WPRO. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks, Brett.
People are going to be tuning into your show now.
Oh, so
you may want to tune into that show. Tune into that.
That's not the one night road show, right?
The what?
That's not the
No, we're recording it tomorrow, actually. And then
Santander Bank, the official bank of Providence College, and by White Cross Pharmacy, home of the MedPack. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Providence Friars Sports Network. Let's go!